All right, this is Randalicious. Welcome to the 30th Hexis podcast. For those of you who are watching the stream of this, feel free to put some topics in the chat. We will collect some topics and answer them at the end. For those of you watching the video of this description, there's a form. You can fill that out. Some topics for the next podcast. Get going. Randalicious. I'm the leader of Hexis.
Yo, I'm Trance. Y'all know who I am.
Trickool, General in Hexis.
I'm Dr. Zoydberg. I'm a 3-banana in Hexis.
I'm Jamz, I'm that guy off Twitter.
I'm Choochy and I have a 2-banana in Hexis.
All right, so something that recently happened was kind of runecrafting getting nerfed. How would you guys have addressed all the complaints about runecrafting there and the change that they made? Do you think that change was?
I was speaking to Trance on Twitter about it. Not Trance, Ash, and was talking about how you can make the rocks deplete. I think what they've done, how they've made it, how you have to move between, I think that's all right how it is. I don't think they could have changed it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really difficult choice on their part because I don't think it was the popular opinion to make it a little bit more attentive. But I'm glad they did something. I mean, personally, I think they should still do a little bit more, but it's pretty good. I'm happy that they changed it.
I'm one of the few people who actually wanted souls to stay the same. That's obviously for my selfish personal reasons. I was looking forward to a whole semester of souls and homework, but people who wanted it changed were definitely in the minority, and I think that it is. I was surprised that they ended up making this change. Actually, language that they were using kind of when they were talking and tweeting really didn't seem like it was something that they were really wanting to do. But very surprised that they did that. I think it was probably the right change. Essentially like Motherload Mine. Still, one thing they said it was supposed to be high effort. For those of you guys who are complaining about it getting nerfed, I understand that. You need to understand that it was voted in as a high effort runecrafting method. I personally wouldn't even put normal Abyss runecrafting. I don't even know if I'd consider that high effort. But still, the way that they nerfed it, it still isn't even high effort. You guys should be happy with how it is.
I think it's kind of silly that they obviously nerfed it, but they didn't account for the XP loss between switching rocks. And I think that should have been the first thing that came to your mind as soon as you thought, oh, let's change it, that you're going to lose time because you have to reset the tick every time the rock switches, and they didn't buff the XP rates. So the XP rates are actually less than what we voted for right now, and I think that's kind of silly.
I think the change was, well, I don't really know what to say about it, to be honest, because it didn't affect any way apart from when you'd load up CML, you'd see lots of 120-hour weeks and stuff. It wasn't what was voted in. It was very low efforting. They voted for high effort. So, I mean, they did try, but it's still nowhere near. I mean, it's just a little bit less than 2 minutes of AFK now. Sorry, it's less than what it used to be, which was 2 minutes of AFK, and it's still pretty damn good RCXP if you just want to get runecrafting done and don't want to look at it from a macro efficient point of view. I kind of didn't think it was too necessary though, like I said. It still wasn't efficient to do, even if you used an alt or if you didn't use an alt, it was just made the top of CML look kind of key.
All right. So, how do you guys feel about Ronan and Matt K asking the community what XP rates they're getting at souls to try to figure out if souls need an XP buff?
Yeah, it's something I had a problem with, and I posted on Reddit about it. Like, and someone mentioned this in the last question, where they should have tested the XP rates before they nerfed it. I mean, it's obviously not as big of a deal as if they had buffed it incidentally instead of nerfing it incidentally. But like, they're asking the community if they should buff the XP rate of what most people consider the most gruesome skill to train. I just don't understand. People are posting pictures of like 41k per hour hours, which are obviously someone who's not trying or is just shit. And if they see that and say, oh, if people are getting 41k, let's buff it up to 45k, then the actual max XP rate would be like 50k, right?
Yeah.
And like the dev blog says max XP rate 45k. That does not mean the average player should get 45k. The average player should get less than that. Max XP rate should be someone not losing any ticks and who has 99 mining and agility, so they always succeed with the abyss obstacles. Like, if they listen to community, we still have Guthin's Nightmare Zone. I don't know if that's a good comparison to make, but like, I don't know. Next.
I mean, I think like what you posted on Reddit, Trance, was like pretty accurate. Like, they're supposed to have QA testers, which you'd assume would be able to do it themselves. But I mean, it's pretty obvious from the release that they can't accurately test the XP per hour, so they're going to have to rely on people who can provide a good hour and to provide them some data, which is pretty bullshit. Like, I don't know. I feel like they should be able to runecraft to a good level. Like, it's not really like difficult to do Souls or Bloods. But to be fair, if you're going to limit him to a normal mouse, he isn't going to get the XP rates we can get. But yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. If they can't get the data themselves, at least they can ask people.
I mean, they came close enough originally. They obviously are.
They were like 8k
capable.
off. What do you mean close enough? That was like...
They were like 6k off.
Yeah, but they were assuming that you'd do it like
They-
Orn's there, whereas
They
you could
said
run
an
through the
efficient
abyss and
player,
get
an efficient player would get 45k, where people were getting like 52, 53. It was like a 15% fucking difference. That's a huge percentage.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Ronan posted on like an update for this week that players were spending their time AFK. And like he kind of blamed the players, but like we had no choice. Like there was nothing else to do but sit there and wait for your freaking inventory to fill,
Yeah,
you know?
you couldn't make it more click intensive than what it was.
I posted the picture in the chat too if you guys want to
Did
see
you
it.
try snow?
Yeah.
Oh, it did not work.
What the fuck is their high effort method? What does he mean by that? Like, does he have an alternative?
I don't know.
Yeah, our concept of effort would be a lot different to theirs.
I honestly think that the XP rates that I saw on Reddit were like 1 hour. It has to be more than 1 hour because of how much of a gap there is between mining and runecrafting. Like there's like a 4 or 5 minute gap. So I think if they're giving XP rates from the players need to submit XP rates that are over like 2 or 3 hours, which would be more reliable. Because if you start at runecrafting at the end of your runecraft cycle, at the end of a runecrafting cycle,
Yeah, if you
you
restart
took out
the
5
timer.
minutes of mining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
consider any player submitted hour reliable.
I think
Like
like,
if I posted a 45k hour on that Reddit thread, I'd just get downvoted to oblivion. People would say, oh, you're an AHK abusing nerd with 99 mining and agility, fuck Hexis. And at the same time, if someone posted 41k, I'd downvote them because they fucking suck.
that's the thing. You need to find
Well, that's
out.
just the state of the community.
You need to get the mix between a good player and a shit player.
No, you
Find
need to
out
get
who's-
just the good players because that's what the rate's based off of. Someone getting max XP rate.
Yeah, if they didn't include
And
that
they're good.
it was
And
a max of
Kieran and John are
45k.
good players. They're good enough to figure
Kieran's
out.
Trim and John pretty much max besides mining and hunter. So I don't get why they can't just do it themselves.
Yeah, like
They're not
it
gonna be
is
using,
supposed
like, AHK and shit.
Well, you don't, at least for that,
It's not
for that shit, you don't even,
necessary.
you can use regular Windows mouse keys and get the same rates that we're getting with whatever kind of AHK people on the outside think we use. You get the exact same. You get the
And even if
exact
you did
same
manually,
rates.
you save like a couple of ticks, and if you're really fucking good at clicking, you can act like it doesn't even do anything. Like, I was watching Buddy do Bloods, and he was like doing it as fast as I would do it.
Yeah, but like it's John and Kieran's career, and they're asking for. I mean, shit. Test the method yourself, man. See
You
what
really
you
only
get.
you really only gotta do one lap. You do one lap, as long as
Oh
you didn't
god,
get like
no. We did that with fishing in Skilling Cup last year and fucking that pan out.
What?
Did it
Oh.
with 10 minutes and all the
Oh,
spots
yeah,
despawned
yeah,
in
yeah.
after like
I mean,
20.
as long as you average out the abyss, the only RNG is the abyss. I mean, obviously there's RNG with the rocks, but that's so small and it'll even out easily.
Yes, years spawn on the abyss would affect it quite significantly considering the runecrafting drop's so big.
All right. Like this question. All right, so on CML, the room crafting filter for EHP current top may be perceived as a temporary solution. Excessive inflated EHP that we've seen in the last couple weeks. As a result, people suggested setting the crafting EHP to lavas. This is something we've talked about many times.
Jesus Christ.
Do you think changing the EHP rate to lavas be an appropriate solution to the issue? Would this encourage altscape to an unreasonable extent? So I think that adding in that filter was good. I think I think it is the appropriate solution. I don't think that they need to change the EHP rate or anything like that. Because like if we change that, we need to change literally every fucking rate. Like black bodies
Change
for
All the
construction,
viables, construction.
Yeah.
everything would need to be changed. So I mean, it's fine. It's fine how it is. It's fine how it is. And if you really want to not see what all these inflated EHP motherfuckers are doing, there's a filter right there for you. I think it's fine how it is. Granted, you do have to go out of your way to put the no room crafting filter on. But
Ask Siren to make it the default setting.
nah, they don't have to do that. But it's fine. It's fine how it is. I like the filter. Although I think
Yeah, I
people
like
who
it
are
too.
doing straight abyss, I think don't get added in.
No, because it only assumes runecrafting, not the respective ratios that come with both Abyss RC and Soul runecrafting.
That maybe
somebody
needs a
told
little
me.
that maybe needs a little
Yeah,
bit of
it's because
fine
he didn't know
tuning.
the ratios because he didn't play.
Yeah.
If someone told him, maybe he'd get around to doing it.
Doesn't bother me any. I don't really care, to be honest.
In the question it says, is this a temporary solution? I feel like it'd be just as easy, if not easier, for Foot to change the EHP rate than it was to add that filter. So if he was gonna change EHP to lavas because of all the soul rune crafters, he would have just done it. He wouldn't have done this while he thought about changing EHP. I feel like, I mean, I'm not a mind reader, so maybe this is just temporary solution while Foot figures out what to do with EHP. I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I don't really think it's fair to like base EHP dependent on if you're using an alt. It should just be like, it's fine how it is, because if you're using an alt to make money, then you just do the fastest XP rates no matter what the cost. Whereas if you're not using an alt, you're obviously forced to use stats, which is what it is now.
Yeah, Trickle, what did you think?
He's dead.
Oh, I'm still here, so Mum's saying goodnight.
Good night, Trickle's mom. What the fuck? She's going to bed at 9:30 on a Saturday.
She's got work in the morning, so
All right, I'll
it's like
accept
5
that.
in the morning or something.
Yeah, what?
Elaborate.
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't think they should change. He should change the HP rate because, again, like Jamz said, I don't think it's fair to base the system off having zero time methods for GP. I think if it was going to change, I'd be like okay with it changing to astrals, which would give like kind of a mix of the different methods. But like that's not really a good solution. I think it's fine how it is.
Yeah.
Now it's less AFK. There's going to be a lot less people doing it because, I mean, if you're going to be actually paying attention, you may as well just do Nats or Lavas. I think it's fine how it is.
I think it was NIJ who tweeted the Runecraft filter, and I saw it and I thought it was a joke, like a troll that put it done just to shut everybody up. But it was actually there, which was funny.
One good thing is if I do turn the runecrafting filter on, I'm on the top page, so I'm well in favour of the runecrafting filter.
Alright, so given that the first batch of Zaya didn't go so well and a lot of people are hating it, what are your opinions or predictions for the next two? Are you optimistic or are you expecting more of the same?
Before Zaya was even out, I thought it was going to be a flop. And then, like, my first experience on Zaya, I did it on a full-screen 27-inch monitor, zoomed all the way out, and it looked fairly good. But then, like, zooming in on a regular-sized client, it's just so massive and it's just so empty.
Yeah.
It's just so, like, I don't even know. Like, I don't want to go there. There's nothing really there. And I feel like it's a waste. Just such a huge waste of dev time.
Yeah, I mean, this was the batch that was supposed to be aimed at me as a skiller, and I didn't give a shit about this batch, so I guess I don't really care about the other two at all.
I think graphics-wise, Zia looks like so good. Like Ghost and Alpha did a good job on that, but in terms of actual content, like half the buildings there have nothing in them. Like the dreadful memes that just so cringy. I don't know. I can't really see the next batch going over any differently to this one.
Just to butt in, I haven't even been there yet, but something I did notice when people were streaming it, even like the houses to fill up space don't have NPCs in them. They're just empty.
Yeah, there's
He just
a,
said
there's a
that.
lot of
They're making such a big deal out of it, making it like so big and like this brand new continent. They're just filling it with buildings. They were talking on the Q&A about filling up the void space with trees.
Christ. Yeah, like they're just bragging, oh, it's a 50% increase to the current land map size. 80% of it is dog shit, so
It's just
Like,
grass.
Just like the normal map sizes, right?
yeah, I mean you kind of, but
To me, it's like a wasteland. You're there and you don't see anybody around except for the places that like room crafting, for instance.
Even
Like,
that's
yeah,
kinda
it's
dead
just
now.
so dead.
yeah, really are dead. It's just shit. I don't really know if I don't really know what I expect from the next two batches. I'm not expecting. If you expect nothing, you will never be disappointed. Actually,
Oh.
I still didn't expect anything from this one, and I was still disappointed, so I lied.
On the most recent Q&A, they said that they will most likely pull tier 80 weapons for raiding, which, if you didn't know, batch 2 of Zaya is going to be raiding. And yeah, they basically said they're going to pull tier 80 weapons / armor. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to be used outside of raiding. They didn't really elaborate too much, so hopefully we get some more info on that, because that would actually change a lot of things if it works outside of raiding. But honestly, raiding, and unless the rewards are untradeable, and I'm forced to go do it to like be efficient for Slayer and shit, I'm probably not going to fuck with it. I don't think raiding would work too well in old school. At least I wouldn't enjoy it. I mean, and I'm not in a PVM clan, so yeah.
feel like raids are going to be a huge disappointment for most.
Yeah,
Like,
probably,
they've been hyping it up for like a year now. Oh, we're gonna have 100-man raids. It's gonna.
there may be 10 100-man raids ever, and it would be all.
Dream.
Yeah, it'll be in the first. It'll be the first day. You will not see clan events of 100 fucking people doing raids. It's just not gonna happen.
Well, they said it was going to be like 100 max, and then based on how many people you have is how much. Like it scales based on how many people you have. Like you can probably have 5 people, and it'll scale accordingly.
How much faith do you have in them to be able to scale that appropriately?
Absolutely
I have absolutely none.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good choice of
I mean,
words.
If they just did it like, if you have 100 people, there's 100 times more health on the bosses. That probably wouldn't. Would that be balanced, or would
No,
is there like?
because then if let's say there's 5 people, one person's tanking, that's 20% of your team tanking.
Yeah.
Now if there's 100 people, that's 1% of your team tanking.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't even know what raids are. They something from RS3 or something.
It's appears as if it's like some dungeoneering type shit
Oh, great.
coming in
Just
as
bossing, but more people, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they said that they'd be like, I think I've heard them say something about how they'd be like actual mechanics and shit. Like, apparently RS3 raids are like pretty good. So, I mean, if they're anything like that, maybe PVMers will enjoy them, but it's not something I'm going to do.
Yeah, but RS3 has ed mods to hour 1. Good
Yeah.
luck.
And the engine system, or not engine, the combat system like
and
EOC,
the combat system, yeah.
The combat system, it really does benefit rating. Like that's kind of why they did it, I imagine.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. If they had pulled Bloods and Souls exactly as they were with the AFK for 2 minutes at a time, do you think it would have gotten a better percent of yes or a worse than what it was originally pulled as? I think it got like in the mid 80s for percentage of people that voted yes.
I swear it was polled as higher than that and failed. Wasn't it? First time around?
No. They just said, like, they said, oh, we're going to make this 62K an hour.
In the dev blog.
Yeah, in the dev blog. And then people just started shitting on them. And then they were like, all right. We'll make it like 50.
Imagine if that was 62k an hour.
And then they were like, all right, we'll make it 53K an hour. And then that still wasn't enough. People were just like, you know, I mean, Hex is out here controlling the game. We said, oh, you need to make it less than that. And then they changed it. Then they changed it to 45K. I honestly don't like. I don't. It wouldn't. Had they said you will go AFK 2 minutes at a time and get 45K an hour, I don't think there would have been a chance that it would have failed. That bitch would have gotten at least 85%, maybe even more than that, to be honest. That's just the state of the game, you know. It would have been it would have been 80 to 90% voting
As
yes.
Trance said earlier, it's the bad wolf of skilling for non-skillers. So of course, anything to make it quicker is just gonna...
I mean, I actually have faith that it would have gotten a lower percentage if they described the method, especially if they'd been specific about how long you're going to be AFK. I have faith it would have been lower because I think there are more people than people realize that think that rune crafting shouldn't be low effort, but I think it still would have passed. Would be in the same position.
It definitely would have passed. I think the majority of the players don't put as much higher effort into some skills as others, and for that reason, people are more likely to do semi-AFK stuff and get decent XP for the GP an hour kind of thing.
Like, take the XP rates out of it completely and just tell them that they're going to bring a rune crafting method that's AFK. People are just going to jump on that. Like, the percentage of the poll would have just been huge, I think, like mid-90s or something.
Yeah,
Like,
I
easily.
think
Like,
about
the
that.
second you say it's AFK, people are going to want it. Because everyone hates rune crafting. That doesn't
Just because
do it.
it's slow and quote-unquote intense. It's piss easy.
Honestly, can't imagine them describing it as AFK, but what I can imagine is them showing it off on stream, and then showing us how AFK it is, and then people get excited for that. And yeah, I mean that could have happened, and that would have definitely influenced people. I mean, I would have voted no if I saw that. I don't remember. I actually don't remember what I voted for.
Probably didn't.
But
You probably didn't.
oh yeah, I
because
didn't vote. I didn't vote because
they took it from the site before there, so we just...
But I would have been
Sold it.
pissed if I saw it like that if they showed it off on stream like a week before the release. I would have been pissed and tried to, like I was, a week ago. So.
I think
I don't understand why you can't retick the S or tick manipulate the S in any way. Why is it mandatory? Like, what is it? Like 8 ticks or
It's
something? Like, it
because-
takes forever.
If you could 3-tick a 9-tick S, that it would be like 80k plus an hour.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
Hey,
why can't you?
that's
any
high effort.
Tick manipulation. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. High effort, high reward. That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, it's a good point though. Like, I think it would be a good design to have kind of, I mean, people are going to do an AFK method regardless how shit it is. So if they just made it like it was like 25, 30k an hour if you AFK'd it, or you could do a high effort method like doing snow or some shit on the mining and you'd get 45k. I'd be
Well,
pretty
if
happy
you
with that.
if you were doing, I can't
If you did
imagine
snow, you'd get
anyone.
like 80.
I can't imagine people doing it as a high effort method for 45k an hour, like an actual high effort method.
I can't imagine Jagex condoning tick abuse, but they could definitely think of something that would encourage people to put more effort in. I think with like they've done that a lot, like with stamina pots, they encourage people to sort of like
1.5.
1.5 tick them as opposed to AFK, and when they made that change to where you can AFK an inventory of like pestle and mortaring something, or you can do it really fast, because they pulled like if you should be able to AFK.
Yeah, and they did with prayer as well at the start of the game.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause it
so
was
I can definitely
originally
imagine
only manual.
that may have actually been a good idea. If they told us, they never told us how soul crafting was going to work. I was under the impression you were actually going to use pure essence. And I'm disappointed that they didn't, because pure essence is like 7, 8, or 8 each now. For the souls basically. But anyways, yeah, that'd been a good idea.
All
They'd
right.
have to rescale it a little if they were to do something like that, though. It just comes back that the balancing of it was just completely off. Like 3.5k XP drops for crafting runes. It's ridiculous.
If you were the one who was balancing or developing the souls how they were, and you knew it was written under the guideline of high effort, like I saw Ash saying, "Oh, like the chiseling part is high effort." Like, is there really any way to defend that rune crafting method as being high effort?
I didn't know if he was being serious when he was saying that, because he was coming off as a complete tit.
I was like so disappointed. He was saying shit like, oh, the mining part is AFK, the rune crafting method is high effort. Like, I don't think he's that stupid, so I don't see why he was using that as an argument.
Imagine if Ronan was on his Twitter.
Oh my god.
That's why he's not tweeted.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, John
I
C
also don't-
especially, like, he got rune crafting early on. Like, how did he, like, how did he not say anything like, guys, come on, this isn't high effort?
Good point.
What made them think that so much crafting XP and mining XP would be good as well on top of rune crafting?
Yeah, I think that's
Like,
slipped
if
under.
you-
They never
If
they
you
never
do
they never talked about
mentioned it, did they?
crafting. I mean, when they said you would have to mine the S and do it, I think people should have made the assumption.
Self-explanatory.
They should have made the assumption that yes, you're going to get mining XP, but the crafting XP was just there to be there.
Like from 77 to 99 rune crafting, you get like 1.4 mil mining XP. And I don't know how much crafting, but that's ridiculous. It's over 10% of to 99.
Yeah.
And before Thursday's update, it didn't matter your mining level as long as you had a pick. And it could be any pick. A bronze pick at the same rate as a dragon pick.
Yeah.
Does it matter now what pickaxe you use?
Apparently,
The pickaxe, no, but your mining level, yes. It's like 99%. It's a 10% chance you deplete the rock.
Yeah, the higher your level, the more AFK it is. Which is a funny mechanic in itself.
Yeah, that just doesn't
Usually
make
the
sense
opposite.
at all. Yeah, you
Yep.
deplete resources quicker. Well, trees at least.
Yeah.
I think it should be a fixed amount, so you're like prepared for it.
Yeah,
You're
No,
waiting less
that
time
makes it more
sitting there
AFK.
waiting.
yeah, this is what Trance said. Like, with Motherlode's designed well because like it gives that illusion of it being AFK when it's actually not. You have to pay attention to
Yeah.
get max XP rates, which is good.
I think Mudload is really good content.
Yeah, it is. It's really good.
Need more PDC ideas like that.
Hey, where's
Blast mining.
where's Big Red Japan when you need him? That's all I'm saying.
Hey, we'll get to blast mining at some point. It's on here, right?
Don't spoil
Yeah, I
it.
saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. got a lot of people talking a lot of shit about Hexis. What are your guys' thoughts on the negativity that surrounds us and that the community perceives us having a lot of sway on updates? Do we take the negativity seriously, or do you guys think it's like a Hexis joke, a meme?
I had a quick look on Reddit, you know, the day that they nerfed, well not nerfed, but they changed the runecrafting, and just the amount of posts, just shit talking Hexis, just saying how the game's tailored for us or whatever have you. It's just unbelievable. I can't even fathom like how so many people can like care about it so much. I know like they're probably enjoying runecrafting or what have you, but at the end of the day, it sounds cliche to say, but it is just a game. You can't really take it that seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good time reading through all the threads. It was good fun. Also, I think the RuneScape stream started about 10 minutes after all the threads came up, and I saw a lot of people spamming fuck Hexis as it
Because
started.
you started it.
I didn't. I also saw Trance spamming fuck Hexis. So.
I said Huck Fexis, not Huck Hexis.
Yeah, I think I saw Orange in as well. But yeah, anyway, like I thought it was hilarious. I mean, obviously some people were just joking, but there are people who like are really serious about it, and I wonder what they think we do in Hexis. Because generally we just dick about. Like, I want to know what they actually think we do
We're
in
at
CC.
the front doors of Jagex, like knocking on the doors.
Yeah.
We're undercover J-mods. Remember?
Yeah.
There was some
in
really high
disguise.
quality reads on that Reddit on the
Yeah.
day though. Really good reads.
It was pretty funny. I'm very flattered. I don't ever see any fuck Solus. Like Solus is the reason why these XP rates got nerfed. It's free publicity, and there's no such thing as bad publicity. It's I like it. I like it a lot. I encourage you guys more in the future to keep blaming us for everything that happens. We're just 100 fucking nerds. We don't control this game.
It was funny for me because I did Zaya runecrafting for like 2 weeks, right? And most of the time I was hanging out in Oblivion CC, and they weren't really talking shit about Hexis. They were more talking shit about Aubrey and like posting a picture of his tears, and all the hate was towards Aubrey and not really Hexis for what I saw. That's all they talked about. So the negativity that Hexis gets, it doesn't bother me. I think it's more towards Aubrey.
Well, for the runecrafting update, it definitely was.
Yeah. That picture is fucking hilarious. I can't get over how funny that picture is.
The tears one was funny. I don't know how he got so much shit. Really, like, I mean, I don't think he was that vocal about it.
Yeah,
what
I didn't
saw,
think so either. I don't know where it came from.
He might have said 2 tweets and then people just ran off with it.
I
You don't
know,
know
I
yeah.
think it
his
was more
video,
because every post about it on the 07 Reddit, he would reply with really long, really serious responses.
No, he's a serious guy, man.
He uploaded his first impressions video, and throughout it all he just sounds so depressed. I think that's probably what got him the most stick, to be honest.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't think he like pushes his opinion on people though either. So I think it was pretty unfair that he got a load of shit for it. But whatever.
He didn't take any of it to heart.
He was laughing at the tears of Aubrey.
That was creative.
That was damn good. But
Anyways, I don't really mind all the hate. I kind of like the memes. I mean, I think the reason why I hate it so much is because we're on Twitter a lot. You
The
know?
game too strong.
Yeah, Twitter game is way too strong.
Growing by the
Anything I'm
day.
proud of it, really.
All right. Then on, so I said that it seems like Hexis has had significant growth in the number of members recently, and looking for comments on the clan's recent success, and are there any new members that we are especially excited about? Trickool.
Not a member yet, but I think he'll apply when he hits the requirements. Surges, who's ranked, or Bart, who's ranked 2 on all RS3, second, well, third 5.2, but second on the high scores because Forza's account took off the high scores. Is a smiley. He's been putting up like 100-hour week or something. 5-tick fishing when the rates is 4-tick before 99, so I guess that's another AHP rank I'll lose. As for a member who's recently joined and expect big things of, I'm not too sure. But it's nice for people like Figgy joined today, and he is someone I wouldn't expect ever to get maxed, but if he ever gets maxed, that'll be cool, considering he sort of started going for it with Hexis behind him.
Yeah, I'll say Poison Ivy is someone who recently got a member rank about 2 weeks ago or so, maybe a little bit less. They had been around for a couple months working towards getting wrecked, and Poison Ivy is Twitter game very strong, and the contributions to the clan and
The
adding to
contribution and controversy to the clan.
has been very well received. And I expect big things, and
Big
for
things.
Poison Ivy to continue doing what they're doing.
I know a few people that are going for the requirement, and I speak to Figgy a lot, and he joined today, so that's good. I think the fact that there's just so many more people now reaching the requirement of joining, and obviously with like Reddit, people are always talking about Hexis. It's gonna like spark interest. More and more people are gonna join because of it, and shout out to Wiggled as well.
Oh
Man,
yeah.
I was gonna
That's
take
it.
that. I was gonna take that, hoping no one was gonna say it. Yeah, Wiggles
Hexic.
is I mean, shit, he's been doing pretty solid since he joined as a Smiley about a week ago, and he's on his way to becoming a member at some point. I haven't seen him in the team speak at all, but I've seen him being pretty active in the C. But yeah, it's the clan's been doing real well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much more growth that the clan can have in 2016.
Requirements are getting quite high again though.
They are. I mean, hopefully when this clan
Doing a
update,
bit K.
when the
Yeah.
clan update comes out, hopefully it can you know, we'll revisit like how the clan is structured then, but really looking forward to that update. All
I know a
right,
few people who would just join Hexis if that came, just because it's a nicer system.
yeah, absolutely. I think
Because you can have a friends chat and a clan chat open.
I think it's really underrated how big of an update that would be, like the clan system for just like so many people are in clans, whether if you're in a PVM clan, a PKing clan, a skilling clan, or just like a clan of some Twitter buddies of yours. It's a clan update would be fantastic and be great when it comes. But all right, so moving on. So Brungus, he's oh wait, yeah, I'll answer that at the back. But all right, so no one perfect. One of the Hexis members. He's currently sitting at 199,199 or nine. This motherfucker's he's 1 XP off 200 mil rune crafting. He's done it all through the Abyss with Nats, solo the whole way. And his account got permanently banned a little bit over a week ago. And it got unbanned within an hour of
It was
it
like
being
44 minutes or something, because I remember it was blowing up on Twitter.
permanently banned and then unbanned that quickly. But what was your guys' initial reaction, and what do you think about that situation happening?
As bad as it sounds, I just thought it was a matter of time, because he's not got anything to show for the wealth he's acquired yet. So I was just like, oh, good on him, he's made quite a nice living off rune crafting. And then when he got unbanned, I was like, wait, what? Is this a mistake, or is he actually legit? Because his account just looks like an alt, or just like something to farm money on to sell. Or, I don't know, I'm just making presumptions. But I was very shocked, and I saw it on Twitter, and I was just like, whoa. Christ. Fuck. He was
Is that
really
what
high
you got banned for?
profile.
Real world trading.
I don't know what Weth banned him for. Like,
It was for it was
was it macroing?
It was
yes,
for macroing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but if I just assumed that it would have been real world trade just because of how much fucking money he's made from Abyss RC.
Yeah, I mean, if he was banned for macroing and then it's got took off, then I guess that proves that he hasn't botted.
Did it get squash? Squash? Whatever it's called. Did it get that, or did it just get removed?
I
Really
don't know. I didn't ask
said
him.
that.
That's what
Back
caution
pictures.
means. It doesn't. It doesn't affect his ban
right.
meter at all.
Yeah.
Didn't I don't know if this is true. Someone said it. Didn't like another account that was like
Boma?
really high rank
Boma,
get banned at
yeah.
the same time.
Are they
Boma
still
is
banned?
another account. No, Boma got
Oh, it's
unbanned.
Still about, yeah.
They both got unbanned.
Yeah, they
Well,
were both
I-
banned
I-
and then
that's
That's the
unbanned.
issue.
I was talking to No One Perfect. I think he said that the ban said macroing and not bot busting, which means I'm not sure if that necessarily means it was a manual ban. Probably not. I mean, because it's understandable. It really is understandable how you would accidentally ban Boma or No One Perfect. They do look like a bot. Like the way they play in their stat
Builds.
distribution
Yeah, the
and
account
everything.
build.
Yeah, the account build.
Just like
But they
Runecraft and
unbanned him
Pures.
really quickly. I think they probably saw it on Reddit or something. I think someone put it on Reddit.
Yeah, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Whoops. But yeah, can you imagine being in that situation?
I would, dude. I can't. I can't. I mean, he was sitting there at 199 mil XP when he got banned. I couldn't even imagine. Very happy
Still
that he
all
got.
his money.
Yeah, very happy that he got unbanned, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Trickool said, when I saw it ban, I was like not that surprised. But when I heard that it was a macring ban, I thought that there's no way that's true because nobody's gonna risk an account like that. Like you just aren't. So yeah, I mean, not much to say
Not
about it.
even
He
that,
got
it's how
unbanned.
the fuck has he gone so far?
Yeah, exactly.
without
You
getting
wouldn't have got
caught?
199 mil, and you wouldn't have got
Like
that far, and then
8k
decided to
HP.
start botting.
Rune
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, he got unbanned. Obviously, nothing happened.
Oh, but my initial reaction. So this whenever the fuck it was. I think this was. So my laptop, my charger like broke. It just wasn't fucking working, and I went to the store to go buy.
Yeah.
Went to the store to go buy a new one, and I was driving back home, and Trance calls me, and he's like, "Dude, No One Perfect just got fucking permanently banned," and I was shocked, very shocked, and yeah, I was driving home from the store when I first heard the news. It was worthy of a call.
Yeah, that was call. I knew it was call worthy.
For me, my initial reaction was, wait, that means I go up in the HP rank.
Ugh.
You're a dick.
Fuck. I peaked at 13 and then lost 2 ranks in a day because he got unbanned and acid past me.
In my opinion, I bet you it was like an automated ban where like he met like a certain threshold of GP on his account because now they're tracking your accounts and they instantly banned him. And then there was all that controversial on Reddit and everything, and then they manually unbanned him.
Weren't there like there was like 5 accounts with like 20 mil plus room crafting got banned?
Yeah.
Was there not? I know it was Boma and no one, but there's also some other people, and
I
I
didn't know it
don't
was that
remember
many.
the other people.
Was XSA banned or not?
Who?
XSA.
I don't know.
About a year ago, I thought he was a bot because he never left fucking World 20 Edgeville. And that's all he did for hours. Anytime I was World 20 Edgeville, he was there. And to me, I thought he was a bot for the longest time until I talked to Rig, and Rig's like, no, he's cool. And I was like, oh, okay. But I can see why they think he's a bot. Like like you guys were saying, his stat distribution is very odd. And all he does is runecraft all day, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, all right. So in the Q&A, they were talking about skilling pets, and they said that they're planning on there being a second set of skilling pets that they're planning on releasing in February. You know, how do you feel about them adding in more skilling pets? And yeah, what's your opinion?
I mean, I like the idea of giving skilling pets to the players that want pets, like the people that go for goals of pets. But I don't really care about pets. Like I got the mining pet the other day. Just gonna sit in my bank. The only really pet that I'd want is the little Pikachu. But apart from that, I don't really give a shit about skilling pets. I think some ideas that have been brought up are good, like what was it for farm making? A phoenix or something?
Well, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That little
That should have
chair
been
that
the
follows
first
you around from
batch.
Jadon Manor for construction. That seems alright, but apart from that, I don't really care.
I mean, when they initially talked about skilling pets, I was like really against them because they're fucking stupid. But I think they're okay now. Like for gathering skills, I think they make sense. Like that's fine. I don't think they should release them for other skills. Honestly, like
I don't
I don't know,
get
man.
the point. There's not really...
yeah, for Bible skills as well. I just think that like this doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah, you're
what are
just
you gonna get
have
for a
different
smithing pet,
variations
like-
of a pet for doing the same 14-14 in a bank.
exactly.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I
But
don't
they could think
actually
of
care
something
though.
good
so
for like agility or fire
Yeah.
making
Yeah, that
or
wouldn't be too
something
bad.
else. It wouldn't be awful.
yeah, but yeah, in general, like if people want them, then whatever, as long as they don't get in the way.
You know, they don't really affect the way you skill in any way unless you are actually going for them.
Like, when I got my chin pet, I misclicked on it. I lost like at least 4 ticks.
Oh, gee. Yep. See, I don't really like skilling pets. I have a chomp, or actually the chompy was because I have a beaver, and I don't like it. I don't like the skilling. Like, who the hell is asking for these skilling pets? Like,
Yeah, honestly.
I can see when there's people wanting these boss pets. I can see that there is a demand for that, but who is requesting?
Who's begging for a bird to follow you? Just a fucking white thing. Just
No, what it is, it's the people that consider themselves skillers who are like, you know, maybe 83 fishing, 70 something woodcutting, the kind of people that like AFK sharks. So those are the kind of people that make Reddit posts like, oh, when a skiller's going to get some love.
yeah.
And all
Just a
skillers.
quick
this
button.
isn't the kind of love that we want.
Quick button. Gingbia is 50 mil dry of a heron, and Acid Soul is 61 mil dry. So I think we've come to the conclusion you can't get them through 3 ticking.
They're like 150 mil XP.
Veth's
Because you
got his
went
AFK.
you went how long?
I went 48 and I got it when I was AFK. I went for a piss and I came back and it was there. And I was like, you joking?
Ugh.
I would like to know how it's written to where you can't get it while you're 3 ticking. So
It's not
I think
like,
that's a good
oh,
question.
there's not like a line of code that says if you're 3 ticking you don't get it. It's just the line
No,
of
the
code
whole-
that checks
Yeah.
if you're
that's what I'm
gonna
saying.
get one.
It's not
It
checking.
happens
You're not
after
fishing at that
you
point.
stop
You're either trying to
fishing.
pick up snow or you're trying to eat.
I think it's
Um,
silly because when they first started polling pets, God Wars Dungeon pets. They said that they don't want it to be Petscape. They don't want
Yeah.
Petscape
Yeah.
with pets. That's basically what it's turning into.
And Pets even failed the first poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might have failed the
Yeah,
second
they
one, but I
pulled
know that they
ours.
definitely failed the poll the first time.
I just think, like, for a bit, to see someone with a pet was cool. Like, oh, cool, he's done X amount of kills of a boss to get this. And now it's just excessive. Every fucking person has them. There's just no
I
kind of
agree too.
prestige in them.
And they said they were going to add a toggle so that you could like click the little pets off so you couldn't see them.
If you have a
Fucking hell.
pet, if I had a pet, I'd never use it because I'd
Just
misclick on it
misclick
so
on
much.
it. You keep and that, every week you see a post on Reddit saying, make the left click option walk here on pets. They just don't have the fucking pet out.
Yeah, they brought that up in the Q&A, and Ash said that they would do it eventually. It's just that Ian's busy. But I agree that they shouldn't really. The only pet that makes sense that is not already in the game is the Phoenix. You know, because it's Phoenix, Ashes, all that shit. Yeah, but it makes sense to get a beaver when you're chopping a tree, in a way.
I'd rather have a teak log.
The teak tree pet.
Yeah, just a floating log.
But it doesn't make sense to, like, you're doing construction and oh hey, I found a chair. Like what? It just doesn't make sense.
It's an inanimate object.
I think they should limit it to gathering and maybe make an exception for the fire making because it just makes sense.
There's a post on Reddit where they were talking about people with 200 mil scales should be able to claim the pet for free
Yeah, just
from the people.
buy them or something. That's
Do you
so
think
fucking-
that should be something that should be added?
No.
Really?
I don't really like it. Like, if you already have 200 mil in the skill, you'd be out of your mind to spend time skilling post 200 mil just to get a pet. I don't think you should be able to collect a pet if you have 200 mil XP. I don't like the
Well,
idea
you
of
could use that
that.
same kind of argument for people who go bossing. They don't get any like significant amount of XP from doing it, but they still do it because they want the pet.
Yeah, but they're getting
If you
they're
wanted it bad enough, you would go
get
and do
stuff from
post 200
bossing
mil
though.
woodcut.
Like, it's not just a waste of time to kill bosses because
Yeah, alright.
you can profit and I don't know, still gain other like combat stats from it.
well, if you had 200 mil hunter, you'd still profit off of hunting.
Yeah.
It just seems
Fishing, you still get an agility, strength, magic, and cooking. Woodcutting, you still get your fire making.
that being able to collect with 200 mil just seems kind of silly to me.
Like,
Yeah.
ruins, like the whole point of them.
Yeah.
I've got 200 more melee, so I can't go and kill bosses. Can I just buy all the
Like
PvM
would it
pets?
would it be
Yeah.
people who currently have 200 mil, or like in the future, like if you go all the way to 200 mil and you don't get it?
But that's so stupid as well because like someone like
Because then does
Acid
that?
or
Because then
Gink
it
is-
it
I
almost
went
it what?
someone like Acid or Gink can just say, "Oh, I've gone 200 mil without a pet," and that's like, "Oh wow, they must be really fucking rare." But if you're at 200 mil and you just get a pet by default, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it's like if they
Well,
release.
pets in general don't make any fucking sense.
If they were gonna do that, then they just made it a static number instead of
Kieran had a
RNG.
good argument on Reddit, and he said that it wouldn't be fair for people to get pets the second it's released. Like if they release a fire making pet
Yeah.
tomorrow, Vestfold could get it as soon as the update hits.
Yeah,
And if you,
that
and
takes
if
away
you
some of
did
the
it for a
hype.
skill,
Yeah,
like-
interested in that shit.
yeah. So I think it takes away from the prestige of having the pet. And if you have
What
200 mil, do you
prestige?
really give a shit? Like
but prestige, it's RNG based.
Some people like to think of it as
people
prestige,
think it's just
enough
prestige.
to have the fucking thing following them. Just, oh, look at me, I've got a pet.
Congrats, you had some good RNG. There's no user skill involved. Alright. Moving on. So what aspect of the RuneScape community would you like to get stronger? For example, the forums, mini games, Twitter. What would you like to see stronger?
Definitely Tumblr. You know, Tumblr's a good platform for.
Hey, Aubrey has a Tumblr.
Oh well,
Somebody else has to play as well.
yeah, that's awkward. That's awkward.
Oh, if he would have been on this,
Um,
that would have been great.
But in reality, like, the Twitter, seemed like a year ago, the RuneScape Twitter game was kind of weak, and I'm really proud of how the RuneScape Twitter community has grown. Like the way the memes have like evolved. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it.
Yeah, I gotta go with Twitter as well. I love Twitter. Last night was a great example of how great Twitter can be.
Not even the memes that make it good for me. It's just how fucking ruthless it is.
Oh yeah,
There's no rules.
There is no
There's no
chill.
rules.
no chill.
I love Twitter, and I'm hoping that I have a great semester sitting on my phone looking at Twitter in class. Hopefully, Twitter can continue to go and expand onto new heights of greatness.
I've never actually used the RuneScape forums, and I know they're not that popular. Like, I don't see how they can make them that much popular, but aside from that, I think Twitter's pretty good. There's a lot of people that have Twitter accounts and do tweet often, like some people. But
Some
Yeah,
a bit too
Twitter's
much
good.
actually.
I
Nothing
like
about it.
Twitter.
I'd have to agree with you guys. Twitter's definitely needs to rise a little bit, but
Well,
for me-
you say that like Twitter is not good. Like it's in a
I'm
great,
not saying it's not good.
it's in a great state.
No, I agree with you guys 100%. I would just like more players to be a little more informed, like reading the dev blogs and not just polling like what the question says.
Yeah,
Stuff like that really irritates me. Like people don't know common knowledge when it comes to like quality of life updates. Like they don't read the small bug fixes. Like players that the day of release say something that's literally on the fucking homepage, like you piss me off.
when I was streaming the day before Zaya came out, I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but in my title I said Zaya soon. I was never gonna go to Zaya. I was just gonna go to bed when that shit came out.
I streamed last minute Zaya prep and I got 40 viewers. Just straight expression.
I can't begin to tell you like how many people like genuinely in my chat were like, "What is Zaya?"
That's exactly what
was
I'm
like,
talking
are-
about.
like-
That stuff annoys me so bad.
However people can get more informed, that area needs to get a lot stronger.
I mean, yeah, obviously Twitter is brilliant. I'd recommend anyone that's not using RuneScape Twitter to definitely get on it. But I think
And be sure to follow at Randalicious RS while you're at it.
Trickool.
and Zoydberg RS. But anyway, yeah. So Modline K's talked about before. I think he used to run the high level forums back in the day, didn't he? Like he was kind
Yeah.
of in charge of them. I think a high level forums like potentially could be a good idea because I feel like in terms of especially skilling updates, I think just them kind of providing a group of people that are like may have a more weighted opinion, just like an idea of like what the method's going to entail and the kind of rates that you'd expect, and just get some feedback from people that are like, I mean, obviously we're going to be biased to some sense, but it can't hurt to get some additional feedback. So I would like to see a high level forum.
I feel like
I
I
think
get
that
like
could support it.
I feel like I get permanently muted if there was a high level forum.
Yeah,
Honestly,
the high level
Why?
form was maxed and there is quite a few
could you
people
imagine
who
the
are high level not
banter
maxed.
if everybody with like 2K total
It'd
was
just
on
be
the same
RuneScape
forum?
Twitter though, wouldn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah,
In a more
Like,
professional
yeah.
sort of setting.
like I don't think you can get banned from RuneScape for saying shit on a forum. You can like
No, you can get banned from the
muted.
forums.
Oh,
I remember Alkin was talking shit about one of the mods, and he got banned from high level forums.
yeah, that would happen to me like day one.
That's fantastic. All right, so loot share is something that they said they're planning on having coming out in February. How do you think this will affect item prices, and what do you think about loot share in general? Are you happy with it?
Loot share for me, I will definitely vote no to loot share and coin share. I would like to see a system that's completely different to loot share to coin share. It kind of be like, let's say 3 players on a team, one hits a 40, one hits a 30, one hits a 50, but there's a 4th player there, and the 4th player hits 100 or hits about 100 damage, The 3 players would get the drop because collectively they've done more damage, but the person who did the most damage between the 3 would get the drop. rather than the person who hit 100 damage who's not with them get the drop with our current system. Something like that, I think, would be like revolutionary to the game.
I mean, it depends how they did it. I guess, I don't know, are people still getting scammed? I guess scamming's bad, so maybe it'd help that. So yeah, I mean, if they did it right and it's what people would want, I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, I can't imagine there's a.
Shit is.
I can't imagine
They
there's
haven't
a.
even pulled it yet.
Yeah, I know, but they still said it. There,
Something in a clan.
they still.
Money gets
Yep.
dumped in the G straight away.
I can explain it real quick. Loot share is this, like 2 players are there, and it goes off ALC value, or not ALC value, GE value. One player gets
So
the
does
item.
it actually? Does somebody actually get the item from the G?
Hey,
Okay,
if
this is it, Trance.
For the 3
One
of you out
person-
there that remember, Maz had a fantastic explanation about what it was like,
That was
like
painful
14,
to
like
listen to.
14 months ago. Carry on.
Well, I can explain to you. Loot share, one person gets an item, other person gets a virtual like rank, and this rank
LSP.
goes off. Yeah, loot share points. It's
Oh
after
man.
half of the item because you're a duo,
But is
and
it?
then because you have high loot share points when you're with another
LSP
team.
was dangerous.
If you have high LSB or loot share points, you'll get the drops over somebody with lower loot share
Okay.
points.
So what about
It's-
coin
it-
share?
Coin share, it would take the item, send it into the GE 5% lower than med price, and everybody would get a split from it.
What if it doesn't sell for 5% below med price?
You'd still get instant coins.
So
That's
the
the
item-
problem with it.
What happened to the item?
Oh.
Like when D-Claws first came out, they were 200k in GE. People were getting 50k splits.
I realized it was like 30 something.
Yeah, that's
Remember
why
a
I'm
friend
saying.
made a
like,
video of him, he racked up a load of loot share points and went to Nex, and he's just getting loads and loads of shit.
yeah,
Like,
that's
get
the
every
point.
drop.
Like you would go duo Armadillo or duo something with somebody. You miss a hilt, and the person who missed the hilt would go to a court mass, and he would get every single drop.
What if they made it so LSP resets when you leave the boss room?
That would be pointless.
That would be
There'd no
pointless,
point in
yeah.
LSP then.
Why? You would be there for like 30 kills at bandos or some shit, and you would be able to bank it and go to corp afterwards, right?
Yeah, but that defeats the purpose. Like, what's the point of loot share points if you can't use it elsewhere? Because
That
you
would-
missed the
Yeah,
hilt.
it'd work on the same kind of principle it does now.
like
If like that.
Trance, you're working off like if you and I were buddies and we were there and we split the Godsword, but people weren't buddies. Like you would go with some random person off the forums, they would get the drop, they would keep the entire drop to themselves, and you'd have loot share points to go to corp and try to get a sigil.
Yeah, and even like there used to be clans for boosting your LSP, so you got lucky.
Yep.
Ugh.
Where you just go kill like KBD or something, or
You go and
something
kill
shitty.
something where it say that it's got a high value, and thus you got more LSP if you missed the drop, and then you'd go and do court with your friends, and you'd get all the drops. Or another high level boss like Nex.
I
The
see.
reason they added that because the trade system, you couldn't trade anymore. That's why they had to add coin share and loot share. We don't have a trade system or a trade restriction, so we don't need anything like that. Like I was saying earlier, I like the team thing where 3 people who hit less than one person but collectively hit more than him should get the drop over the one person. Something like that I think would be good because then you could do 100-man corp versus 100-man corp for like Stud versus Oblivion, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean, but yeah, whatever.
All right. So Ash is going on vacation. It appears to be like it's going to be something like 3 weeks plus that he's going to be gone. It's first time he's gone for any extended period of time. Mod Ash does a great job as a
Community manager.
He's a great community engagement specialist. So who will you guys be directing your tweets at for the few weeks that he's off?
Maybe the real community manager?
Nice try. So for me, I think Kieran is the second person I trust to ask stuff to. I think we used to be John C, but Kieran's definitely gained a lot of respect in my eyes. But yeah, in terms of Modash, he gets a lot of... people are often very polite to him after he responds, because he spends a lot of his time on Twitter responding to people. So yeah, I think even though he gets a lot of like politeness in general and a lot of respect, I don't think he gets enough. Like he works so hard, and while he's working, he's responding to everyone, making sure everyone... I mean, people ask him stupid shit and he'll still answer them, even if he's answered
Like
it
10
50 times
o'clock on
before.
a Saturday night and he's still responding to people on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone just said he'll probably still be replying on vacation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. So still tweet him, guys. He
Still
might
tweet
be
him.
replying.
But yeah, mine's Kieran. Hopefully he can do a good job.
Trance.
I just answered.
Fuck.
I said still tweet Ash because you'll probably still
Oh.
reply.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kieran. John hasn't been responding to me as much, and yeah, Kieran I think is the next best option for making damn sure you get a response to your tweet. But I do also like the idea of still tweet Ash. I would put vacation Ash as my number 2 choice.
For me, it would definitely be John C. A while ago, I used to talk to him every day on TeamSpeak because he would come and corp with me, but he stopped coming. And if I tweet him, he usually tweets back. And then
Follow
after
you?
that, it'd definitely be Kieran.
Does he follow you?
No,
Oh, okay. I just wanted.
sorry, I didn't hear you. He just came on TeamSpeak and would corp with us, and he was literally doing that for like 2 months straight. And we just had our own like Q&A with him, and he would answer everything I asked him. It's great.
The only 3 mods I've ever really tweeted if I've had a concern or suggestion is Ash, Kieran, or John. And now Ash isn't here, I guess just leaves the other 2.
You've got to be blocked by someone, Jamz.
Just Archie, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I think Ronan did have me blocked, but I got him to unblock.
How did you get
He
him
went on
to
a mass
unblock
unblocking
you?
spree. He even unblocked me.
I think I
I
tweeted
remember
out,
that day. It was a good day.
quote this, and it just
Force
said
changed my
unbench
name
please.
out of spite, the little bitch.
That was the same day as the Skilling Cup stuff, right? When we were talking about rune crafting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a good day. That was a fun night of Twitter. Because he said the next day on the Q&A, like about how he got bullied on Twitter last night.
It's great.
Yeah, I think he actually said Hexis as well.
Yeah, he said Hexis are complaining about it, so we have to change it.
About what?
The originally rune crafting was going to be in the Skilling Cup for about half an hour. Until
Oh
Ronan
yeah.
changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where
It
I
was
mentioned it the next day on the
21
podcast,
minutes.
on the Q&A.
Before he
It's 20
changed
minutes.
it.
Well,
I made a
it
meme.
wasn't that rune crafting was a bad idea. It was the way in which
Runners.
they were going to have it set up was a bad idea.
Yeah.
It would have been totally fine if rune crafting was in there. I mean, this data warehouse is supposed to be incredible. I'm sure if you put a restriction in, like, oh, if you trade someone, like during the hour, like your hour will be discounted. Like they keep track of trades, so it'd be pretty easy to have that being tracked to where I get lavas versus lavas, nats versus nats, however you want to draw it up. It would have been easy to do it like that. It's just just silly to where he encouraged runners, which was
Yeah, he was like, utilize your clan. It's like, no, fuck up.
If they put a check in to check if you're trading, what if someone were to drop S?
That you only get 1 S per tick. That wouldn't be worth it.
What if you're doing like
Not if you're
nature
doing
and stuff?
lavas, no.
It wouldn't be worth it anywhere. 1 S per tick is not for lava. It wouldn't be worth it. So unless you'd have to like buy them from a shop, but then you just might as well bank.
I mean,
Yeah.
someone runs to the fire altar and drops all of their ass.
Only getting 1
Well,
S
yeah,
per tick
I'm-
is bad.
I know, yeah.
I'm saying that nature is not like lava, but yeah, I get what you guys are saying.
Oh,
At nature, I
Yeah.
guess it'd be worth it, but then you wouldn't do that for the cup. So
I did the most impractical method you could think of.
Yeah, sweets.
death
Or
tiaras or
something
something.
along the lines, yeah.
It would have been disgusting.
I would not have participated in.
Hey,
Man,
Boycott.
the whole
we got
boycott
skill and
crafting.
cup talk later. We got skill and cup talk later. Don't
Ruin it.
don't wear
again.
yourself out. All right, so
What are you
skill.
doing? We're on page 3. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thought we were nearly
before
over.
this shit started, I was
Gather
telling you
around.
guys the most. Hey, shout out to all of you guys out there. Thank you. This is the most submissions that we ever had for a podcast. There was over 100 submissions. I appreciate all of the submissions that you guys gave. And yeah, this podcast, before we start, I said I'd be shocked if it was less than 2.5 hours. Looking at it right now, there ain't no way it's less than 3. But all right, so moving on to the next one. Skillin has had countless minor quality of life updates over the past few years, and consequently several thousand hours of EHP have been shaved off of 200 mil all. Do you predict that future quality of life skilling updates will have similar consequences? I mean, I think so. There's so many things that I think that they'll be doing that will consequently increase the XP per hour. Like, there's a lot of things. So I'm going to use kind of a bad example here, but something like fire making, the theoretical max XP per hour for fire making didn't increase, but the consistency of it did. Like with the GE, something like that, like it is.
Yeah. Also worth pointing out that Abyss RC has never had a direct update to it. Yeah, its XP per hour EHP has increased by like 4k.
Yeah, which is like, how much percentage is that even?
It's too late for maths, I'm afraid.
I wouldn't know.
20%?
20%,
No, 15.
yeah, 20.
15,
Yeah, because
20.
like day of release, it was like 25k an hour. Like
But if you calculate backwalking and if you had to die and you lost your pouches and had to get them back, and even talking to the mage to repair them, click boxes on rifts, escape to close the bank, all
Glory.
that shit, staminas.
oh yeah,
the glory
right click the glory.
None of these are direct updates, but they've all changed the skill quite significantly in regards to XP an hour.
Static spawns. Static spawns really increase the XP per hour for Hunter.
Because you can, like, just spawn trap a chin in 2013 was unheard of.
Yeah.
That it was retarded. Like,
You never would think of it.
I remember a guy called Zulfa devised a method, and he got bullied for devising it because it was just completely impractical. Because you couldn't get the chins quick enough. Same for mining. I remember asking Acid, like, well, can you move? I need to do a bit of mining. And he's like, no.
Fair enough.
I've used some stupid fucking American world and get like 200 ping.
I think as long as there's quality of life updates, it's always going to increase the XP per hour, and more people do skills. There's obviously going to be more suggestions. If we have a suggestion, all we need to do is tweet mods and snap our fingers and it's there, so...
No, it's good to be in Hexis.
Good to be king.
Mining took a big hit because you got the axe in front, the D-axe, and then you got the armor, and then you got the prospector. I mean, the armor is the Varactire thing. Then you got the prospector. Then now you have the mining cape as well. XP went up so much because of all those things.
Gone up by about 20k since Acid finished it.
Without
And
any tick
that
manipulation.
was like less than 2 years ago, and that's not including tick manipulation.
If
Which is
Hexis wants it,
ridiculous.
sure.
If Hexis won.
I mean, most of what
That's
you
a
guys
good
are describing aren't even quality of life. Like,
Well, hey,
diaries are not quality of life.
Yeah.
Motherlode mine's not quality of life. So,
all that
quality
room
of life would be
crafting
like
shit was
static spawns.
the room crafting shit and the static spawns
All
quality
the
of
room
life.
crafting stuff is
Yeah, the room
quality
crafting
of
stuff.
life.
That's
Like
quality of
there's
life.
a lot of indirect updates to a lot of skills.
I think for me, quality of life updates I care less about because they aren't like if it's just like a needless.
I
increase to the skill,
care more about quality
Really?
of life updates.
wow.
Yeah, like I wish that for instead of them trying to push out like I think that there was a someone linked me this when I was streaming a few days ago. It was this post on Reddit where like it was depicting players like, oh hey, when are you going to like address inflation? And then then it would like show Jagex's reaction saying like, oh Zaya, like when are you going to like fix soul room crafting. Oh, like let's type up Dragon Warhammer. And then there was like another one, and then they were like, oh, Jad 2. Like, I would love it. Like, they have. Oh, I can't remember the last time that the team has had more on their plate than what they could eat. And I would just like for a fucking month, just straight quality of life updates. You know, here's a quality of life update that I would love to see just off the top of my head, just because I had to do it the other day. So when you decant, like jewelry, you can do it noted, but you cannot do that with Slayer rings. That bothers me, and I don't like it like that. I would love for Slayer rings to be able to be noted so they can all be decanted at once. Something small like that for me, that would be the highlight for me during if there was a big update and that was just a quality of life on the side. That would be my highlight.
What
is
about
having
the
some,
diary fix?
well, that too, but
The diary fix.
I saw that
Fixes. Sorry.
I saw that there was the fishing trawler. They made some quality of life updates to that with a bank all button and a collect all button. God bless them for that. I'm not the only one who pissed away a couple pieces, and it's quality of life updates like that are very underrated and very underappreciated.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. The last dev blog said that if they're not doing JAD 2 this month or February, they're going to do mostly quality of life things.
Why are they saying they're not doing it yet? It didn't even fucking pass.
No, the JAD 2 is next January. They said.
Well, yeah.
What?
Listen, I'll get you guys. The original
year?
dev blog said they can either offer it at the end of this February or like a year from now. And if it was from a year from now, they would focus mostly on quality of life things for February.
Well, no, there's going to be a poll soon. With
I don't remember reading that.
It wasn't on the homepage. It was on the forums, and it was linked on Twitter. You had to actually go and find it.
And then on the Q&A, they confirmed that they're just going to wait till January, I believe.
Of 2017?
Yes,
Yeah.
because that lines up
Fucking
with
hell.
Phase 3 of Zaya, and then there's a Tizhar expansion with Zaya Batch 3, and it fits well into there or some shit.
Holy shit.
One quality of life thing that I would like to see updated is when you're using Ectofile. Like, you have to collect the tokens every inventory. It's ridiculous. Why can't you do 1,000 bones for your bone crusher and just collect them all at once?
Was that you and I were talking about that the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's again another great quality of life update.
Yeah, I did actually do that to fill up my
Or
bone
the
crusher.
like
That'd be
tiny
great.
things, like something like the message that your magic imbues run out is highlighted, so you don't have to use a botting client to figure out when to imbue again.
The botting client.
Hey, if you're not using it, you're only putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Oh, I would use it if it's fucking open.
Shots.
Click guess and it just crashes.
That's a good point.
Is there any quality of life update? So Choochy and I have talked about a couple so far. Are there any other quality of life updates you guys can think of off the top of your head that you'd like to see that haven't been
Overload
mentioned?
mine.
Get rid of the login cap. Why is it there?
The what?
The login cap. You know, like if you hop like 20 times, you can no longer log in for like 30 seconds. What did they add that for?
They add that because you could thieve in Dorgesheim for like almost 200k an hour. At
Oh, you could get a lot more than 200k.
To be fair, but did they nerf it specifically for that? Because that was pretty strong, to be fair.
It's also for like Iron Men hogging resources, I think.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's just really fucking annoying for Slayer. I think that might be more of a problem with how there's like one room for Slayer doing blood velds.
Oh yeah, no, I
I
agree
mean,
with
there's
that.
two, but
100%.
yeah.
Another quality of life that I would like to see is placeholders. Like, I hate having to buy extra things just to keep them in spots in my bank. Like, I have so much money tied up into that. It's ridiculous. I feel like that wouldn't take that much engine time.
I think Ash said before that it would take more than you'd expect, but I don't know.
Something I'm keen for is a bank pen that's more than 4 characters.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If you could type it in as well.
If you typed it in, it would defeat the purpose.
Actually, no, not
You're
type it in.
ratted.
It's fine how it is. I'll have to take that back.
I'd like for the bank pin to kind of be more like a combination of numbers and letters than just numbers.
Yeah, like just a second password.
Yeah.
And one thing is, the Hellhounds in Taverley have like a really high spawn rate, and if they fixed it to be in line with what static spawns should be, they'd be just as good as Neve's Cave, and that would help with overcrowding.
That'd be nice.
In that regard, though, does it make a difference when you slay them on World 1? Or are they
Good
just
point.
completely unaffected by...
I don't know.
I know Dagonoths are affected by how many players are in the world, so they might be. I don't know.
New
Dag
meta?
Kings are.
Yeah,
Not
that's what I mean,
Dags.
That's what I mean, Dagonoth Kings.
Case-sensitive passwords.
I thought they got rid of that thing where it depends on how many people are in the world.
For most things, not for everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was some
right.
oversights,
Was
I
it-
think.
I can't. I don't remember what else
Bossing
besides.
wasn't an oversight, though.
Yeah, besides bossing, I don't know what else that applies for. All resources and shit like that, though. It really doesn't make any sense why the Hellhound spawn rate is so low in comparison to the Neve Cave. Is the Neve Cave just straight up just faster respawns than everywhere else?
No, I think it's a problem with Taverley, not a problem with.
Why? What's
Yeah,
I
because if
don't
you kill
know.
the
Ash
druids, they
said
don't
just-
respawn quick enough.
it seems very silly.
I know. That's why I want it to be a quality of life update.
Well, I've got one actually. So I've been doing Cerberus lately, and the issue I've been having, which I'm sure I would love to be fixed, is that you can just about not make it running all the way from the Taverley House portal to Cerberus. So if they could make it like 10 tiles shorter, I could run all the way to Cerberus,
Oh,
and that'd be
fuck
nice.
off! No,
That'd
Ugh.
be really nice.
Lazy motherfucker.
That's not a quality.
I don't wanna have to walk
That's a
amazing.
lazy
Bullshit.
man's update.
I even put on my max cape, like breaking the meta, so I'd weigh slightly less. Still doesn't make it.
You
Hey,
can say the same thing about Zaya Soul Runecraft because you just barely run out of energy.
Hey, that's when for Cerberus, that's when you just take that sip of stamina right before you go. Yup, a pre-stamina.
You can pre-angler fish too now.
Yeah,
Pretty
Shit.
anglerfish.
you
Yeah.
used to have Chrome 1 brew and now it's stamina bloody anglerfish.
You forgot the Gothic tea as well.
What does that shit do?
I think it's
It-
also some kind of tick manipulation food.
It's,
Bullshit.
it has no tick delay, so you can just spam it and it eats. And it heals 5 per dose or whatever.
Wow.
Is it 8 or 6? Or 3? I don't remember. I know they're a pain to make though.
Learned something new today. Alright. Let's skip over. So the Wines of Zamar or Wines to Wines of Zamorak was one of the few things that was pulled to be added to the Necromancy spellbook that did not pass. They're planning to re-pull it, and it's the only change that they're really making to it is just adding in a higher level requirement. What do you guys think about that? And do you want to see it in the game?
It doesn't affect me at all. As long as it uses a really healthy amount of runes, like a significant amount, it's fair. As long as it doesn't completely crash the prices of it because of the runes.
There are millions and millions and millions of fucking wines that are just like sitting in people's banks because they don't want to sell them for like 20 each. Like,
You have to make like 7 mil to get 200 mil RC, don't you? Thingy, don't you? Or is it less? Actually, it might be less.
I have to get 200 each, so...
yeah,
Yes.
you'd make a little bit
1 million.
less than a mil.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, 7. Yeah, I've done my maths wrong.
There is just there are so many wine like I don't think it's a good idea. I think it would mess with the market way too much. I feel like whatever kind of balancing they would do for it initially would not be balanced well. It needs to use up a lot of souls and a lot of nature runes. However that needs to be balanced, I don't know. But
Not to cut anybody off, but if they make it like kind of like stringing jewelry where lower levels would use it as a magic training method, it might be pretty viable for a lot of people.
But they said it's going to be a higher level requirement, though. So I think it was initially at like 70 something as a level, but they're going to be increasing it. Like, wouldn't really I don't think that you would want to actually use it as a training method.
there are a lot of people that would rather be AFK Magic XP at like 90 plus Magic. I could totally see some people using that as long as it's AFK like stringing amulets.
Well, if it's a, I was almost under the assumption that you were going to be making money while doing this. If it's gonna be
You better
AFK,
be.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with it is the balancing of the GP. Like something like someone mentioned the bowstring thing. It's not like making a spell that strings bowstring isn't a big deal because you can already do that at the same exact speed as you get the magic as you can with magic. But you never before were you able to make wines into wines of Zami. So it's a huge balancing issue. It needs to eat up.
This is fucking stupid though. If you can, like, everything aside, you consider it from an economic standpoint where the only inflows of wines of Zami are either from bots telegrabbing it or the occasional one from bossing for it to be a commonly placed item.
Like, there will be such
just
a
for handful
huge,
of runes.
so
That is fucking
many.
stupid.
Yeah,
Influx
I
that it
don't
would
think
have
they
on
should
that
actually
market
do
is
it.
ridiculous.
I don't think they realize how the effect
There
it's going to
are
have.
millions of jugs of wine
Million-
in the
yeah.
game, and the jugs of Zami that come into the game are usually they're synced out pretty quickly. At a nice consistent rate because people are making range pots for.
Yeah, if they
everything.
repull this and it looks like it's gonna pass, y'all better sell y'all's range pots because that shit's gonna crash.
Hey, and you better buy it. Fuck, what is
Warp weeds, I think, isn't it?
giant? Or, yeah, dwarf. I don't know. 200 mil fucking herb, and I couldn't remember right away what it was. Dwarf weeds. If this shit passes, buy up dwarf weeds. Randalicious merch tip of the day.
Are you doing a bit of price manipulation there, aren't they?
No, that's just a suggestion.
Helpful tip from your neighborhood.
Someone said that Kieran said 5 bloods and 5 gnats per 3 wines. That isn't enough, honestly. That's 1,000. That's 20. That's like 2,300 GP for 3 wines. 2,300 by 3.
700-ish.
750.
And wines
no.
cost
It needs to
wines
be
cost a
double
little
that.
bit more. Wines of Zami cost more than that.
Needs to be that per.
It needs to be like double that at least.
Yeah. Like they need to make the spellbook better, but I don't think that this spell is.
Or they could make it so that you have to cast a spell at the Dark Altar, and then that way you're not making 5,000 or 1,000 an hour as you would be with stringing jewelry. Like if they made it so you only made a couple hundred an hour.
If they made it to where you only made a couple hundred an hour, no one would do it in there.
They'd
Really,
have to
like
give decent XP to give anyone any sort of incentive.
They can make it give more XP than normal spells, just like they made souls give more XP
we
than
don't care
normal
what they do
runes.
to magic, to be honest. It's 0 time anyway.
What do you think will happen to the prices of wines if it does pass?
oh, they'll
They will
plummet.
be in the gutter.
Yeah.
They've gone completely.
Though
Because
I'd be
I plan
shocked
on
if they
doing-
maintained half of their current value.
Yeah, I'm doing 200 mil cooking with wines like after I max. And
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know what would happen to the price of
you
them.
better bank up though. Bank that shit.
I've got about half of it banked already, but I don't know what would happen to the actual wines themselves after.
I don't know what would happen to the
Well,
wines. That's
considering
actually
wines at the moment have absolutely zero demand for them to actually have a use.
wines probably would
demand
go
will
up.
increase and-
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't go up because there's too many of them in the game already.
It
If
would
they were
make
a
sense for
scarce
them to go up in
resource.
price.
Yeah, the
because
RuneScape economy doesn't
everyone and
usually
their
make
mum has
sense.
got the same idea as you of selling your wines, and it's going to be worth dog shit.
Yeah, like if they go up, I've got like half of 200 mil banked anyway.
Might be
Already,
a slight
so
influx at the start, just because people are hype, like thinking they could get a good deal, but
if a repo does
inevitably they're
happen,
going to be worthless.
I
Like the
mean,
wines
we
themselves, just 'cause so
we
many.
could have something similar happen to the Infernal Axe. Like, oh, this is supposed to increase the price of dragon axes, whereas it had the exact
Crashed
opposite effect and crashed them to half the price of what they already were. Yeah, it's some things that make a lot of sense don't end up happening. Be interesting to see what happens. All right. So what are your guys' thoughts on the blast furnace buff?
Mining.
Or what
Nice.
did I say?
Furnace.
Blast furnace.
Oh, all right.
It better not buff blast furnace.
So what are your guys' thoughts on the blast mining buff? It wasn't pulled, and it went from 60k an hour to I don't know how much XP or
It went up
G-
in both XP and GP per hour.
and it was unpulled.
Oh yeah. Well, the update itself was unpulled. It was mentioned, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was mentioned that blast mining would be part of Zaya, but they didn't say anything about XP rates.
that's really concerning because for non-alt users, that's GP and XP efficient now. So I don't know
Only if you do
unless
the
you don't want
fire
to,
making thing, which is
yeah, if you don't
really
want to
that.
tick manipulate. Well, that seems
And even if you
alright.
don't, it's like the same thing when you include the smithing XP
Yeah.
you get from granite. So I think it's
I don't-
pretty. I think it's actually really balanced, and I'm
Yeah,
surprised
so
that
yeah,
Kieran
I
can
know.
so competently do this, but can't do the soul buff or
Do you
not buff.
think that
balance
was?
souls.
Do you think that he handled that, or?
Yeah, he did. I saw him
think
on Reddit.
somebody
He was
else
asking-
Yeah.
designed that.
Oh,
And he
okay.
just
Posted
he
on
saw the
Reddit.
tweets, went on it, and just went, "Wait, who the fuck has done this? What a knobhead!"
And he did it. Like the
'Cause it was
rates that
high-
are in the game right now are exactly what he said they'd be.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, it's higher
So
APM than Motherload, but it's slightly more XP but less GP, and it just didn't make any sense.
I think it was. I think it was good. I'm not concerned that it was unpulled because it. The, I really don't have any fucking words. He did a good job. He did a good job.
How long does it take to get the favor to do last morning?
A while. I think it's the longest one, isn't it?
Heard
Yeah,
like
like-
eight,
One
heard
of
like
them, yeah.
8 hours.
That
No,
was
but
the
it's not-
first.
it's not
that
8
was the
hours,
first
it's
day
like-
they fixed it.
Oh,
Like-
alright. I thought it
Yeah.
calculated
alright,
in-game
so
time because you had to cook the sulfur, didn't you?
The first day they made it so you had to like cut or like make charcoal out of these logs, and it took like almost 20 hours for a log to turn to charcoal. And then you can make the dynamite, and you didn't get favor for anything else because you couldn't get higher favor to do anything else. So you had to wait 20 hours. And it was ridiculous. But now they made it so you can mine sulfur and get percentage. And I don't know how fast that is.
Considering mining's my last skill to match, I should have probably looked into it a bit more, but the favor itself taking like however long it takes just put me off it completely. And I don't know, I've not really been paying attention to the XP rates at the moment now.
Mining sulfur is like 32k an hour, so it might be kind of more worth it
worth
for you
it
to
for
do it.
you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you can get more than 32 at Quarry, can you?
I did a legit hour and got 74k.
close, man, close. Like when they were suggesting the mining update, I was wondering like why we needed a mining update because I'd consider mining one of the more balanced skills in terms of the options you have. Like there are a lot of good balanced options for mining. I didn't really see the point, but yeah, I mean,
I
That's
said
the
that,
method's
not
fine.
you.
I also
Hey,
thought
people
it
can have the same opinion.
This is the Hexis podcast after all.
exactly. But yeah, I mean, method's fine. I guess. I
Adding
mean,
on to that as well,
Zulu
it's
just
one
said that apparently the dynamite's too expensive for this actually to be profitable right now. So I don't know.
What?
it's also one of the most explicitly updated skills, like apart from Slayer. Like if you
Yeah.
look at what the meta was 2 years ago, it was Desert Robes and a Rune Pick. Now it's fucking Infernal Pick, Prospector, Mining Cape, what's it called? Desert
Desert
Amulets, so you don't
Ami.
need water skins.
Barrel plate body.
That is insane.
Yeah.
For the
It's
meta to completely
completely
change in
changed.
just 2 years.
Hey, even zooming in is
Yeah, even that is very underrated. I'd say it's a necessity if you want to keep it up for like 12 hours a day or something, just because you're going to be more accurate.
more than an hour. Fuck your 12 hours.
I can't do 20 minutes.
You get there,
Yeah.
Jamz. You can do it, man.
I believe in you.
Cheers, guys.
Alright, so what are your guys' thoughts on the Dragon Warhammer coming out And I mean, I don't know if it's OP or not, or anything like that. But what are your guys' thoughts on the Dragon Warhammer?
I think within an hour of it coming out, obviously all the streamers had jumped on it. They were all streaming that. But apart from a 70 I saw get hit, I don't really know how useful it is or anything. I've not killed any of the shamans. I've not even been to that place on Zeal. I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is all, it's only going to be based off what I see, because I don't know shit about anything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's overpowered. I mean, I saw a lot of people complaining that it's like basically what a status Warhammer was, which like a lot of people thought was like, quite overpowered, so I don't know.
I saw something on Reddit. Initially was a thread saying that like in a DDS stake, the Warhammer would win like 70-something% of the time. Although we then later found out that was an error. But I can imagine people like someone who's got hundreds of mil just bought a Dragon Warhammer for whatever the insta-buy price was. It was 150 mil just to go to the duel arena and try to take advantage of people doing
Naivety.
what?
Just that like naivety to it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was considering it. I was considering it, but I didn't trust the math enough to want to do it, and I'm glad that I didn't. Like, it's not good. It wouldn't have been, yeah. If that shit was 70-something%, could have banked 200 mil prayer within an hour.
I think it's a pretty balanced weapon. People say it's like not powerful enough, but like when you compare it to the other dragon weapons, like dragon mace, like no one uses that shit. So I don't think it needs to be overpowered for it to be like a good update. I think it's pretty balanced.
Like,
and
it's
I
a
think
level
people use it.
60 attack weapon.
Yeah, it's level 60 weapon. It shouldn't be like that crazy.
Does it outclass a BGS?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's stupid. Why does a 60 weapon superior up to a 70 weapon? 75 rather.
75 weapon.
That's dumb. I
Especially
also
when
hate the
they're
way you get it, and I hate the design
they're
of it.
supposed to do like the same thing.
But why? That doesn't make sense, and you're always
But
going to be better off wearing it because you can-
one-handed BGS.
Yeah, it's just a one-handed BGS that you can get 15 levels earlier.
Well, it's better, right? Because isn't it just a flat, like a 30% defense decrease, right? Like,
It's
regardless of
30%
what you
of
hit, it's as long as if you hit.
yeah, it's 30% of its current defense.
Current
Before
defense.
it was
Yeah.
total.
And BGS is based off what you hit, right?
You're going to be shopping
Yeah.
BGS
Yeah.
like Bandos Hilt soon, I promise you, with that, because that's broken.
The hammer definitely is broken. I agree with you guys 100%. I was doing some math earlier. Corp has like 410 defense or 310, I don't remember. But after like 5 specials of hammers, it brings Corp down to like 50 defense, and you just wreck them.
Level
The hammer is
50?
Yeah, level 50 defense. The hammer is completely broken, and the reason it passed because the team marketed it well. It was a 60 attack AGS basically because it had a 50% increase of damage. So pures can hit upwards of 60s on them, mains can hit 75s, and PVMers can use them to destroy monsters' defense. Now, that to me, like they did a good job marketing and they got it in the game. Good job for them. But I'd much rather have seen the Jag Cape pass compared to the Dragon Warhammer. The Dragon Warhammer is broken.
Do you think that instead of putting in a Dragon Warhammer, they should have just made the BGS this good? Or what is your opinion?
See, I definitely think the BGS should be better, only because like the level requirements, like you guys said, it's actually harder to get a BGS because you need to get the 3 shards and the hilt, and we don't know that
and it's a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's tiered to the higher players. The hammer definitely snuck in under all the players' noses, and I definitely don't agree with it.
BGS uses 100, right? Doesn't it?
No, they changed it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure.
They
that
definitely- yeah,
I
Paul
think it's
changed
Yeah,
it.
55.
They changed it, yeah. It's 55, is it right? 65? Something like that.
Something. I think it's 55.
Yeah.
But the Dragon Warhammer, they originally pulled it as 33% spec, so you'd have 3 of them, and it reduced
That's
30%
ridiculous.
of the total damage. So 3 specs from one person would completely destroy a monster's defense.
Well,
Depends if you've got a team,
That seems
like
like
3 or 4 man corp, just go and smack them all with your D Warhammer.
that seems fatally,
65.
like the balancing behind that.
Yeah,
Horrible.
like the fact that a God Sword is outclassed by a Dragon Boot on a stick. That's
At least the current model is like significantly better than the original model, which looked
That
fucking
was
ridiculous.
awful. That like a fucking Frankfurt sausage.
Was it Alfred that designed it?
He deleted
Yeah.
the
He
tweet.
should
He
honestly
got bullied
feel
so
disappointed in
much.
himself after
It
that.
was class.
Yeah, I don't know like how as an artist you can be like, yeah, I'm proud of this. I'm going to show this off to everyone. It looked
Oh, I'm
fucking
gonna
horrific.
go and tweet revive my teletabs thing now to remind me.
Man, hey, why are we still in 2016? Why is the Lumbridge tab, Baroque tab different from the Remington and Taverley tabs? Why is that font different? What the fuck is that? That shit needs to be the same. It just
Yeah.
looks disgusting.
To get back on topic though, like the hammer, it kind of limits future updates when it comes to PVMing, because if you give a monster a shit ton of defense, you're just going to destroy it with this hammer. Like they have to do something where like any big boss
Some sort
that
of
they add in
cap
the
to how much
future-
it can do, maybe.
Yeah,
Like
I don't.
they can make it so you can't reduce a boss's defense by more than 50% of its base.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's just it's so stupid how this weapon passed and how good it is compared to some other weapons that
What
are
did you say
higher
corpse
than it.
defense was? 300?
It's like 310 or 410. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, would it is let's say it's 400. Would the Dragon Warhammer still be OP if you couldn't reduce corp below 200?
I
Or would
mean,
it just be like pretty good?
It would be pretty good, but right now you can duo corp with one inventory of food as long as you guys both hit with hammers.
Wow.
And it's gonna change like Sarah, Bandos, maybe Zammy. Zammy's already got lower defense. It's definitely gonna change corp. And there's people in Oblivion that are now using whip against Callisto, because if you hit with the hammer, like it just completely changes the meta for a lot of bosses. And to me, it's completely overpowered. But the way they passed it though, they marketed it to PVMers, the Pures as an AGS and a PVM weapon. Like it's not just a PVM weapon; it's also a 60 attack AGS basically with a 50% damage increase. So they marketed it well. It's in the game now, whatever.
Seems like there'll be a lot of balancing that'll be done with that at some point in time.
Really? No one seems to be making a fuss about it. That's the only time they
Yeah,
ever address anything.
I haven't heard anything about it being OP until now.
Honestly, I thought I was just about to say this is like passed and polled overnight for me. I didn't hear a thing about this.
Didn't it get introduced into the game the day after the poll ended?
Yep.
Instantly.
I thought that was very interesting. You know,
Well, people have been discussing it, Dragon Warhammer for months. Like, I just remember like 2014, like early, maybe in 2013, people were talking about Dragon Warhammer. People wanted that for a long time.
I honestly thought they were going to bring the hammer in as like a degradable hammer or something that has a cost to keep using it. But like literally, you buy one, you can have it forever. And
I mean, it's a
30%
dragon.
damage.
It would be kind of weird to have a degradable dragon weapon.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%.
That's why it shouldn't have been dragon in the first place. Why the fuck has some stupid lizard got a dragon weapon?
So Corp has 310 defense. Let me do some math real quick and I'll get back to you.
All right. While you do that math, we're gonna move on then to the next topic. I didn't hear anything about this, but apparently John C. brought up that the increase in the price of Zora scales was planned. His rationale was, as the prices of rare drops go down, the scales should go up to keep top-tiered items expensive to use. Do you agree with that logic?
I mean, he said it was planned. I feel like if he had a plan, he wouldn't have made Zora like the most flawed boss ever, so that the rares it drops aren't worth alch value less than a year after it comes out.
The fact that he had the nerve to say planned and Zora in the same fucking sentence. That is a fucking audacious.
But really, they should repoll. They said they're gonna repoll a bunch of shit soon, and one of the questions will probably be making it so you can turn the unique drops from Zora into scales, and that should.
I mean, that's already failed the poll, though.
They're gonna repoll do a repoll thing where they poll shit that failed
A
barely.
total repoll.
No, they're gonna have a big poll with a bunch of shit that barely failed from the past like year, and then try to get that shit in the game. I guess. I don't know. It's just something in the Q&A.
Yeah, the fact that he thought that was his rationale when the prices of the items are so low compared to the price of the scales. No.
Also has to take
Not really
into
worked out.
consideration that the price of an item is a one-off payment, whereas the scales are always being consumed. Surely it should have been done like the other way around if there was a way to do it.
What do you mean other way around?
Well, it wouldn't work in this regard because that would mean the item would be Zora scales if you putting that on your head and using a serpentine how to charge them. But like the cost of an item back when Zora came out was 4 mil, and that was a one-off cost. You paid that 4 mil, and then you had that item, and you paid the 800k or whatever to charge that item. But now it's a one-off payment of like 300k, but the scales you used to charge it are consistently costing you outflows of like 800k. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I get it.
I got pretty bored halfway through listening to it.
Oh, nice.
For me, I think it's a load of bullshit because if they really felt that way, why add Zora scale fishing to attempt to decrease the price? If they really thought that the high amount of price or high amount of scales or high cost for scales would be balanced, they would never have added Zora scale fishing.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that Zora scale fishing has not been buffed.
Still, they've not fucking touched it.
I think everyone's just going to forget it happened,
embarrassing.
honestly.
Yeah, they're just gonna push it under the rug.
I'd completely
When you
forgot it
thought-
existed.
Exactly.
When you thought that everything in that area of the game was broken enough, they topped it and added something that was supposed to artificially alter the prices so that they were lower, but instead increased them significantly. I just...
I mean, the thing is, I think John's statement is based on the fact that he planned Zora to be such a farmed boss. Because, like, the reason the items are worth fuck all is because of how many come into the game, because the boss is so profitable. Just based off his normal drops, like, not the rare
And
items.
it's a bunch of stupid oversights that make it so profitable.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't
It's
you
just
lose your
it's a
items?
stupidly designed boss.
Well,
Well, I mean-
Lowlander, who's been doing, whatchamacallit, on Hardcore Iron Man runecrafting, he died at Zora, and the guy there holds all of his items for him, so he doesn't have
Yeah.
to have the invent space on his Ultimate Iron Man. And that's just fucking comical.
It's brilliant. But yeah, I
It
mean,
really is.
it makes sense that the items are expensive to use, and like the scales being a high price, I guess, is reasonable in this situation. But they shouldn't cost so much if the boss wasn't so terribly designed, this wouldn't be the case.
I don't get why that thing of breaking down the drops you get into either the item or the scales didn't pass, because that was...
From what I saw, a lot of people had an issue with the fact that they weren't balanced. Like, you got more scales for grinding down a blowpipe than you did for a helm, and people seem to have an issue with that. I don't know why, but
Because they're all the
Yeah.
same drop rate.
yeah,
Maybe we should make it. They should make it like random.
maybe yeah.
See, this my problem with their logic. The first week they like changed, or not the first week, but the first update they did to Zora changed how much scales you got, like dramatically.
Yeah,
But they didn't account for the amount of people that were using the item compared to a couple weeks down the line, where more people had access to the items. You know what I'm saying? Like there was
Yeah.
less people using the scales, and now there's more people using the scales. And you're getting half the amount of scales now. Like that's ridiculous. Like they don't like look into the future. I feel the mods.
I remember scales being really cheap. Yeah, like I bought.
Well, they got the
This
bosses
was
are
this was in the
difficult to
this was in the trading post days. I bought it was at least like 500k scales at like 25 each.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I remember I charged my Serpentine health the first time to go into Pyramid Blunder with a friend. I bought them for 11 each off a guy in Hexis.
No, yeah. And the reason they're that low is not because everybody's doesn't have the item and they're not using the item regularly. But now we are, and everybody's got the item, and there's less scales coming into the game.
Yeah,
So there was
that's
a
what I was
huge
saying.
balancing issue.
Why haven't they just buffed the fishing? All they need to do is give you more scales per fish. It's not hard.
It's
Because
not.
they don't want to make it better than monkfish.
Why not?
It's got higher
That
Rex.
just makes no
No,
sense.
not the higher Rex argument again.
Have you seen the Dragon Warhammer events against the Torag's hammers or the BGS, for instance? Fucking
Yeah.
logic.
Well, isn't I don't know actually. I don't think the Zora scale fishing is like the only reason it's in the game is
87
because the
fishing.
fucking grinding weapons failed. It's a stupid idea, to be honest. I think fishing didn't need another method as well. Hunter would have been interesting. I think that's a better idea than fishing.
I thought the hunter was a better idea too.
Alright, so...
I'm glad we took that out.
That's a great answer.
I don't know. I don't know why when I asked for
Hey,
it to
this
be...
next question is pretty bad too.
Yeah, get rid of that bitch. I asked for someone to proofread. Alright, so... Alright, would you like to see a passive magic XP spell similar to Imbue on the Necromancy spell book?
Well, that's what necromancy is. It actually gives a lot of magic XP per cast on the head. You get like, I did an hour of Abbey Demons and I got like 40k magic.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like that's a good bit. So I mean that's the whole
A
point of
hefty
the spell
chunk.
book. I think we should just skip this question now that I answered it.
I agree.
When
Yeah.
when you kill one, does it count as your Slayer task?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I did that
does.
whole task.
Yeah, so you can cannon them.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the
did
cannon's
an hour as well.
the cannon's not even worth it though, because
Nah,
they
you
only have
can't double
30.
that.
They have like 30 health, so
Yeah.
you don't want to give up melee XP. And your cannon hits a 20, you hit a 15, where you would have hit a 35.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with Chance. Like, it already gives good magic XP, and like, there's no point just adding a second imbue that does fuck all and just gives you XP.
It wouldn't
really helpful.
intentionally be an imbue, it'd just be a thing that you could cast.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, the guys who made the Lunar spellbook 10 years ago didn't say, we should add the spell where people
Just
can
so people
cast
can
it while
just-
they do agility, and yeah, they can just get 2 normal magic with 0 time.
Yeah.
That's not...
It's just a really stupid spell to add if it does nothing. But so yeah, there's just no point.
Alright, well, move on to the next one. So, what is your guys' opinion on pretty much tick abuse to increase your XP per hour? Like, obviously it's not intended, but then there's the argument of the effort versus reward.
I get the whole effort versus reward, but then it has to be consistent for other things, like say Zaya runecrafting or making hunter traps. It has to be consistent across the board. Like you can't have it crazy abused at mining and woodcutting, but then you can't use it for like Zaya runecrafting or doing hunter boxes.
You can do it for 100 boxes.
Yeah. You could 3 or
Mhm.
2 ticket.
Just not as accessible methods, I guess. I don't know.
I think they're fine.
Shut
But
up.
Yeah.
I will admit that the reindeer hat is pretty fucking OP.
Yeah.
Especially because of how unintended it was. It was supposed to be a cute
It is
little...
the most unintended thing. We
a
would
cute
just
little hat, a
easily-
cute little hat from
You can do some snow so you can
That's
throw
fine.
some snowballs at your friends, you know.
That's the
Just
National-
signature
sitting
of
there
elitism.
fishing with it.
But yeah, I think mining, woodcutting, and fishing are like the best design skills because of tick abuse, which isn't like maybe it's a good side effect maybe because like there is the effort reward. Like you can put in a lot more effort and get like a significant more XP opposed to just AFKing it. And I think that is really good design. I would like to see that in other skills. But I mean it's unintended and it is a bug, but I think it's fine how it is honestly.
If the guy who made Barbarian Fishing told me that cutting and eating was like intended, I'd believe him. Because it
Maybe.
just makes sense.
It's good. Like if they did it on purpose, it's really good design.
No other fish gives food when you cut it.
I thought it gives the food so you can make the potions.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world has made a Barbarian Potion
Yeah, read your diary, man.
or a diary.
That's
No one has
that's
gone
what that's
Flat
what
organic
it
corp if you
that's
get your
what
premix
the
ready,
intended
guys.
feature of it is.
I know.
Hexis.
You're not meant to eat it.
What do the barbarian potions do? Because they have 2 less doses, I know that, but do they give any other benefit?
They heal HP and restore that stat.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that's crazy. That
Fucking
is
mad.
crazy.
I've
It's a
never seen
wonder no
anybody
one's
use them.
clocked on already. It's why I'm
You know that.
why I back my fish.
You
Cut
just
'em.
broke the
Make
meta,
pot.
dude. You just broke the Slayer and PVM meta.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if using like snow allowed you to like re-tick with like an AGS.
Imagine.
Well, we
'Cause,
te-
like- 'cause, like,
we had that tested like a year ago or so. Someone was doing an Abbey Demons task and they were trying to do that, and that would have been, I think at that point it would have been nerfed.
They would that's the thing. Like why would they nerf that but not like
It-
they
it-
just don't
it's-
care about skills or
I don't know, but like it seems as if being able to retick an AGS would just
or an
be
anchor I guess would be the most or dark bow. Dark bow would be the most OP, right? No, because range sucks. Whatever has the most strength bonus. It might be the fucking like anchor thing from the quest.
I think the fact that you'd be able to use that in PvP would make it a thing
Yeah.
that would make it...
You make
so
it
that
more public and then people would moan about it.
Edge will
If
look
someone's not
beautiful,
moaning
won't it?
saying, oh, this guy's getting 95k now fishing because he's got a reindeer head. But if it was with PVM, everyone else would be like, oh, this is broken. This is not allowed. He killed me for my items. And I couldn't do it because I'm lazy. I love it's so stupid, but it's just a portable 3-tick spot. It's so great.
Makes nice snow as well. Like it's just good.
Alright, so they have the new fire capes design. Hey, what the fuck? You just delete that shit?
Sucks.
Alright, bitch.
Whatever,
We'll
do
move
it.
on. We'll move on to the next one. No, we'll move on to the next one. I was in the middle of saying it while you deleted it, but we can move
They
on.
already
was an old-
no,
that
we
was
can
the
move on.
magic of rain
No,
shield.
no, 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 no,
They
no,
took
no,
it
no.
off.
We can move on. We can move on. We can move on.
We're still
Don't be
we're on
that far
5 of
behind.
9.
Alright, so
Yeah, fuck.
on the most recent Q&A, they said that in like 3 to 4 years, they'd be willing to consider adding customized.
Customizability.
Is that a fucking word?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much custom max capes in like 3 to 4 years. What do you think about that? 3 to 4 years? Fuck.
It's customization, not customizability. What the fuck?
Hey, that's what the fucking question says, dude. I'm just reading what shit is here.
Customizability.
See, that's the
no,
whole
it's
thing. When I
customization.
ask for it to be proofread, this is
Right,
that shit that I'm
Googling
talking about.
It's definitely
This is that kind of shit that I'm talking about.
They both mean the same thing, I think. Yeah, they do.
Regardless, 3 to 4 years seems extremely significant. Like that's a long time. I think
It's-
3 to 4 years. We're definitely
What
gonna
the
have like
fuck are they
1K
doing in
players
that
max.
time?
It's long enough where I think they're joking.
I
Like, there's no way.
I don't.
I think it sounds like they have the next 4 years planned out.
Ian's to-do list goes up to 2020. It's like, oh, I might be able to squeeze it on the 3rd of January 2020. It's like, what the fuck else are you doing?
Oh shit.
Yeah, 3 to 4 years, that's a bit extreme. If I'm even playing then, I'll probably like it, but yeah, I don't really care for customization. Or customizability.
But however you want to put
Customizability is
it.
what the question asks. Don't listen to Trance.
What? Someone in chat said, yeah, but the game's been out for 3 years. Yeah, but 3 years ago, do you really think they planned Zaya? The point, I guess the point,
I'd want a 200
the thing that's
mil
humorous
all
is the fact
cape.
that they're planning 3 years ahead.
We weren't supposed to have major updates 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to have anything that the
There was like 3
RS3.
members on the team 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Those are the days, man.
Old school feel.
wish
We
we
weren't
had
supposed to
reach
have bot
back.
protection, were we?
Weren't we? That seems like something we'd probably have had anyway.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
3 to 4 years. I mean, at that point, no one's gonna give a fuck about a max cape. I mean, Lynx is gonna be 200 mil all in 4 years. Like, No one's gonna give a shit about a max.
Is there really any point? Because if Jad 2 passes, we're going to have like a max cape with a range cape in it, a max cape with a thingy,
No,
or they
no,
replace existing
I
models.
just said that's why I deleted the last question because they
It's
took the
dumb.
mage and range capes off Jad 2. It's just the melee now.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
That's so stupid that best in slot range is from a fucking quest that's highest requirement is like 16 Slayer.
I think it
Yeah.
requires like 35.
The people love the reason people like it is because of the utility of the saving of ammo.
Yeah.
The Jad 2 range cape wasn't gonna have the accumulator effect.
Yeah, so even that it wouldn't be worth. I mean, it wouldn't even increase your max hit of dark bow. So like
true.
losing the utility of Ava's wasn't worth it. Like in any situation.
Well, what about the magic cape?
These
I don't
all
know.
seem
Yeah,
like
but
I guess
They
they
should
figured
be
if
adding
they're dropping
more
the range, they may as well
ideas.
drop the magic.
they should be adding more content to make best in slot if that's what people want, instead of just dumping it on something that's already there for something else.
fucking who the fuck isn't going to be maxed in 3 to 4 years though?
Probably
Yeah,
me at this rate.
there'll be thousands.
Oh, that's for me.
You
to
probably have to average like 10 XP per hour over the next 3 years to get it.
Yeah, but like I mean I'm not going to give a shit in 3 to 4 years. How is it going to take 3 to 4? I just don't believe them. There's no way they can give that as a time frame.
I can't wait for like 3 years from now. People are like, so hey, three 3 years ago, you said we could get some custom max
The only way I
capes.
believe this is if they're sending Ronan to university to learn to code so that he can do it.
They would get fucked up. They would definitely get fucked up.
Man. All right, so moving on. In that one. So these new rooms for construction are gonna have a bunch of uses. Some of it's gonna be cosmetic. Some of it's going to be actually useful. What are your thoughts about all the shit that they're doing for that, and what are you most looking forward to?
And they have a room that's going to have the ability to switch spellbooks whenever.
Yeah.
And was there like something where you had like a pool in your house to recharge like everything, like special attack and...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that is
I
a
don't know
good
about
idea. As long
special
as it...
attack. That seems a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about special attack. That it's going to be the same as the desert.
Did they say
Angel one.
what level construction it would be?
I want to say 80s
It's
and
definitely
90s.
90
It was high.
plus.
Yeah, it was high.
Yeah, that is a good idea. But apart from, like all the jars and that, I don't really see much relevance, really.
Oh, people are gonna be going crazy. I can already see Jiklam having all of his rooms ready, and
He's already
like,
got them banked.
like, there's gonna be people who are going to like having 7 different jars of shit in their house.
Yeah,
A jar of shit. That's the next one.
Is that for the next year batch?
Yeah.
Or jar of tears, depending on what the content is like.
Hey, to be fair, I think construction hasn't really had anything added since the start of the game, right? Apart from like chat boxes with numbers, that's great. But that wasn't a construction update, so like I think they look pretty cool. Like the jewelry stand and the what I'm hyped for is the lunar and ancient spellbook swaps. That can be good. Yeah,
What the
like
hell are you changing off Lunas for? Fucking hell.
hey, I was on what's it called? Necromancy the other day.
Ew.
I had a nightmare when I tried to do my farm run. But
Where's
being a max
fertilized
player, I had
soil?
my spellbook swap to teleport to Lunar Isle.
Hey.
Aha.
With that being said, it might be nice if you can switch from necromancy if you have a dead crop, and then switch back to lunar once you fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm definitely hyped for the spellbook swap thing. You know, I very rarely use it, but I think it's just cool.
I'll still have those rooms in my house because I'm a bit of an OCD freak like that, and I have to have everything in it. Got one of every portal and like all the costume stuff in my house as well.
Another big thing here is also you can have a fairy ring in your house as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well. You can teleport the one with the Slayer ring, actually.
Yeah, I'm it's about time that they finally did something for construction. Like, the possibilities for what you can do with Khan is literally endless, and
We were
they've
talking about suggestions for Con in like 2013,
Weren't they
And-
gonna add a
and
spirit tree as
still
well?
nothing's happened.
like there's the possibilities are just so endless, and it's a damn shame they have not explored it as much as what they could have to this point.
Remember fucking E-Fire was talking about updates to construction. How old it is.
What were some updates that he had?
He had the whole go around and build shortcuts everywhere idea. Remember he made a thread about it and asked us all to go and bump it in the clan.
A man ahead of his time. All right. Next question here. I guess this is probably more so for Trance, Trickle, and I. What would you guys ever consider doing a podcast with us three and three people from Solus? Would that ever be something you'd want to do? Consider, or how do you think that would go?
Why would we share our success? No, I'm joking. I don't see the point because they already do 101 every month. There's no point. You just be watching the same.
I mean, it clashed opinions, perhaps different.
The only thing maybe would be fun is if we had a bit of fucking like banter or something. But if we're just sitting there discussing questions, that'd be dry.
I'm just gonna say it. They don't have enough personality to make the podcast worth my time. I don't think I'd have fun.
Also,
Their
there are loads of
podcast-
Hexis members that haven't even been on our podcast yet, which is like now we've got 2 new ones. We're gonna have Rick, but he's
We would have
still
had.
asleep.
We had another new one that was supposed to be on, and that's also with another one who was waiting, trying to get on.
Yeah.
When I watched the Solus podcast, they spent a lot of the time like poking at Hexis or poking at Randy in particular. So I feel like them being on it would definitely be bad blood.
Not to shit talk, but the Solus podcast is just hypothetical questions. Who would you respect the most for doing this method that is very unpractical?
I've never
With a
watched
bit
more
of-
than 15 minutes of the like, combined.
I
of the
tried to
Solus
watch
podcasts.
one, and Brad saw us in the chat and started flaming me, and I just laughed.
I joined the last one. I'm gonna have to leak myself now because I own the Twitch account Yukuri RS. I was in there, like, I was dicking around like trying to sell my Karamban script to people, and Yukuri like said like fuck that in the chat. I was gonna stream from it the other day, myself doing mining and like cover my chat. Oh,
That would have been great.
yeah, I've kind of ruined it now.
Well, I guess you'll just have to be an imposter for someone else.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Yukuri though. His Karamban method is really good.
I wonder at nah, never mind. All right, so we had the Skilling Cup. Skilling Cup's over. We don't have the results, so everyone doesn't know who has won yet, and well, Trance, Trickle, myself, and Zoid were competed in Skilling Cup. So pretty much like what? Let's just start off. When do you expect to see the results of this? And like last time, it took 4 weeks for them to share the first 2 weeks. What kind of time frame are you giving them? When do you expect there to be results shared?
It's hard to predict. So last time it took them 4 weeks, but one of those weeks was like a whole week of holiday. So I'm gonna say it took them 3 weeks, like 3 work weeks, to get them out, right?
How by work weeks? How much time do you think they actually put into? Like, there's no way he sat at his.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I was about to say, I feel like there was some hump that they had to jump over to figure out how to get the shit to work, and then after they did that, I felt like that was what took them so long the first time. So I kind of felt like they put Hunter out like the Monday after it ended, but they didn't. So since Hunter hasn't been out yet, I'm not optimistic for this week. For the results to come out this week, like Monday through Friday coming up. I hope they do, but I'm not optimistic.
I would be shocked if we saw them before February.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Nothing else to contribute.
Yeah, I mean, I really would hope that they had given some more information last time, but if the situation arises where Solace win 2 and Hexis win 2, they're going to have to release some information on how they're going to do the point system to say who's won. Because, like, I honestly have no faith in Ronan at all. I mean, it's not just Ronan, they say everyone, but if they just said, like, oh, Solace won, like, you know, he could just be making it up because, like, they've, like, not actually done any points. There's no proof that they've not fucked up, you know what I mean? So it's been pretty bullshit, but, yeah, I'm with Trickool. There's no way before February.
Yeah, I would be shocked. I mean, you guys are saying you're going to be shocked if you see it like before February. I have absolutely no expectations of it coming out within 2 to 3 weeks, to be honest. You know, I'm thinking right around like Valentine's Day we'll be seeing that getting released. There's
Twitter
just
beef competition should be the tiebreaker.
there is just absolutely no way that they get it out time. Also, I'm interested to see like when they post the final results, what the fuck are they going to look like? Are they going to be more in depth than just these guys win this, these guys win that, or like what more are they going to give us?
Yeah, I'd really hope to see a top 5 hours from each clan for each week. Like from the 3 competing teams, for example.
Yeah.
I would like to see the standings, you know, like to see who ends up getting 3rd place or something like that. That would be interesting. I don't know who would get 3rd, but
The skill sang trying?
I mean, they probably did hours. I don't think they really tried, but like they probably put in hours.
Yeah. They'll probably get it by default because they're the only one I can think of. Unless
Yeah,
these
I can't-
skills went out
These
of the
skills.
way.
There's like other ones, but
didn't
nobody,
did,
like,
didn't
nobody can-
Slaystar sign up?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they put in some good hours for fishing, didn't they?
What?
Scott might
heard-
have.
Yeah, I heard a few of them at least put some good hours in for fishing.
Scott was doing like 125k fishing an hour using my snow and 3 seconds cutting and eating, and I went and did a farm run halfway through. His XP dropped to like 90.
Yeah. All right. So, Banan, with the skill and cut being over, what suggestions would you make for next year? You know, what went wrong and what can be improved?
Hopefully by next year they'll have a in-game clan system, so they won't have to worry about rosters. They probably spent hours filling out rosters and changing rosters, look, people were like making claims like, oh, this person has
The
this
current
person.
roster system is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, I think if Hexis just submitted the top 500 in EHP off the bat, they would have just said, oh, that's fine.
Probably. Yeah. Especially with the amount of time it took Ronan to kind of respond to anything. Yeah, the roster situation was an absolute mess.
Yeah, it was. I think one thing that was a problem. One thing that I didn't really like is how impractical all of the methods used are. Like, it's a competition of skillers doing impractical methods. I think last year it was done a lot better. Even though we had the fishing the fishing catastrophe, looking at it now, I don't think either skilling cup was ran well, and I wouldn't mind if we didn't have another one again, just because of how fucking shit it's been run for the most part. Some things for next year, I guess. Let people with 200 mil in a skill compete. It's not. I mean, shit. I don't really like that, but I didn't like how Hunter, like you had to have protection to hunt. That should not like. I didn't like that. I just didn't really like the cup in general. Didn't go as
People know how we did Hunter.
it didn't go as well as I wanted it to go.
Yeah, I think this format was just like, I mean, I wasn't involved as much as you guys were, and for me, it was stressful. Like,
Yeah.
like you had to be doing stuff the entire week, pretty much.
Like, if you watch anyone's videos from the Skilling Cup last year, the only practical / tick abuse method we used was woodfish. That was it. Mining was just raw mining. Woodcutting was just cut the tree and drop a log.
And they could
or do
easily
with a
make it so you
tinderbox.
can't bring any items in and cut
Yeah.
out every tick abuse
Or,
method.
or if you just go in there naked and you get given an axe, like
Yeah.
the highest tier axe, and that's it. Nothing else. Or the highest tier rod, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which would make it more of a... Yeah, I don't think you can't base anything off skill after an hour. Anyone can do an hour of something good. Try and do fucking 1,000 hours of something good. I think that's even more in practical, but
Yeah, I mean I haven't really liked any part of the process, but I'm glad that it's
how
finally
secretive
over.
Everyone is.
And now that it's over, we can kind of relax, kind of chill.
Sorry.
You alright?
But
What are you looking at? My edit?
what?
What are you guys laughing at?
Oh no! Only those that know will get it. Inside joke. Inside joke.
Okay.
All right. So last week, Brungus came over and stayed in my like my dorm last weekend. It was pretty fun. Uh, getting to meet him. That was cool. Had a lot of fun. And I guess someone asked if well, I guess I'm gonna answer a couple questions at once. Someone asked like, when is the next Randy Brungus duo stream? Like he lives 2 hours away from me, so it's not really bad. And we had a good time. And him and I have something planned for April. Autism awareness charity stream. So I would imagine that would be something that would come into play there. But that is, I guess, the next time I'd plan on meeting him, or meeting up with him. But I had a lot of fun though. Moving on though to next question is out of anyone in Hexis it doesn't even have to be Hexis, just in RuneScape, who would you like to meet that you already haven't met so far?
For me, there's a few of them. I would meet a couple people from Oblivion, like Jordan and Brian, that I hang out with a lot. Then the people from Hexis, it would definitely be Rig. Rig and I get along great, and I'd love to go meet him, but he's foreign, so.
I want to meet Space Alt. He seems like a cool guy. I mean, if you don't know who Space Alt is, I definitely recommend talking to him. He's a very interesting guy.
He asks the real questions.
He does. He makes me think. He makes me better as a person, I'd say.
I just really want to meet Razor and just cuddle him.
Cuddle him?
Oh, I just think he's like, Choochy, stop. Stop.
I think anyone in the TeamSpeak that I usually chill in, I'd want to meet any of them, but I'd also really like to just meet Link's Titan and just see how he behaves in real life. I want to just go and just watch him, how he does it.
Just watch from afar.
Yeah, I don't want to get too close.
I'll have to meet Randy, I guess. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if we did a stream, man. It's a little bit too far. It's a little bit too far. Maybe one day.
I'm flattered. I
I
I'm
thought you were doing Lent, Trance.
Who?
I thought you were doing that thing in January where you don't stream.
Lent. Lent's not until
Yeah.
it's like in the end of March, isn't it?
Lent, it's a personal thing. You can do it whenever you want to, really.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, you
It's in the fucking religion when Lent is.
I can do it whenever I want to.
Well, it ends on like whatever day Pancake Day is, right? Shrove Tuesday.
I don't know. Hey, I remember I had a pancake day back in it was in middle school because I went to a private school that like had religion in it, crap, and so like we had in that shit we had a pancake day and it was like for whatever the fuck you're talking about, and shit pretty much had so many fucking pancakes for lunch because it was just an all-you-can-eat pancakes. Got sick as hell, and like got sick as fuck during gym class, pretty much.
Imagine meeting Cap King.
Oh,
Damn, that'd be yeah.
Oh,
I
how did
take
no
my
one
answer
say
back.
that?
Sorry, Randy.
oh, fuck you then.
I gotta fuck some shit up with Cap King, man. Pick up some rat tail beer on the way up.
Drink out of this
Cap King's
5-gallon
the
jug.
best. Hey, Trance,
Making
earlier
some
you said
fucking gains.
gains to the mains earlier fucking killed me. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, here's a good one actually. Oh, let me just throw.
that.
Let me throw in some order here. So, all right, would you guys? Excuse you.
Pardon.
Would you guys like to see an annual poll to decide whether or not we keep our current set of mods? Each mod would get their own question, and if their popularity was not at a certain percentage, they would be terminated.
This question makes me laugh. It's so
Oh
stupid.
fuck! I've just read that. I thought you were talking about my gen in Hexis. I was fucking panicking.
Can you like imagine like fucking like ancient Rome where you like vote to see if the person dies and the fucking emperor puts their thumb down? like that's what it's like. It's so stupid. They would never do that. As funny as that would be, as hilarious as that would be, people will just vote no because they're on the internet and yeah. That's a funny question.
Go ahead, Trickool.
I don't want to say.
Why not?
Oh, that's a good answer actually. Why not?
Okay. But imagine how fucking stressful it'd be being Ronan, and basically your job is like, your job's on the line and Reddit has to decide whether or not you get to
He
stay
could
in.
do a
Like,
phenomenal job as long as he looks like he does.
I
Always
think
getting chucked into the pit.
I think it would create the drive for the Jagex mods, particularly the Jagex mods who are less productive. Maybe do something to
Just
keep
imagining
themselves
Ash on a
in their
podium
job.
putting his thumbs down when Archie comes into the arena and a fucking lion kills him.
Yeah, they put them all in an arena and see who survives and see who keeps their job.
Maybe this is what the Coliseum update is.
Oh, we can only dream.
I mean, it sounds good and it sounds bad at the same time. Like, you guys are talking about, like, imagine if Reddit had to decide on Ronan's job, or like branch that out to Archie. Like, do you think 75% of people are gonna vote to keep Archie on?
No, he's
That's
dead.
I will
I'm
no.
my votes.
Are 75% of people gonna vote to keep Ash on? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like, a lot of it is a direct correlation. Like, you could argue it's a popularity contest, but a lot of it is reflected on the quality of work that you bring to the team, I think. Maybe not have a them getting terminated. I would like to see some kind of, I would like to know the actual, like, here in America, we have approval ratings for presidents and whatnot. I would love to see the approval ratings of the mods right now. Each and every one.
Be interesting.
That would.
Ronan gets like 10% for all the lures.
I mean, I'm sure from the data warehouse they can at least make some ballpark number of people are always saying Ash is a god. He's probably pretty liked. I don't know. I would like to know what people's approval ratings are.
It's an interesting concept. It'd be pretty cool just to see who was more liked than other people. Like the guy said earlier, it would definitely reflect like I think they'd be scared to do certain things, like updates that are good for the game.
It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter what the fucking question is. Ronan's going, and then next year Archie's going.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna have to bring new people in, and we're gonna hate them as well. It's just a cycle of just getting rid of the shit people.
Never-ending cycle.
Yeah. So, all right. So, I guess we're pretty much running out of questions here. So, move on to the last one here. So, so Choochy and Jamz, this was your guys' first podcast that you were on. It's been a 3-hour podcast. You know, what did you think about it? How'd you like it? Would it be something you'd consider doing again, or was it too nerdy for you?
I liked it. It was fun. I like talking about these kind of things. I would definitely do it again. But 3 hours kind of excessive. Like I had to go cook food in between questions.
Hey, I didn't even know you left, so you did a damn good job of that.
See that? So like, it was fun. I kind of wish Rig was here, but the fucker was sleeping. So
Yeah.
He's
Has
still
he
asleep.
woken up? Has he woken up yet? He hasn't
No,
even
he's-
woken
he's
up.
in the
Oh,
game.
he's online.
He's
He's in
online,
the
yeah,
CC
he's
now.
online.
Did he say that he overslept? When did he
I
get
don't
on?
know. We're
Seen
just
him saying
assuming.
See a thing. She's just like, hey, so when's the podcast started?
Jesus.
Yeah, for me, these last 3 hours of playing by, I've got some mana and XP done, which I probably would have struggled on, but I've had fun. I'll definitely go on again as well.
Good shit. Good shit. So, all right. Well, usually podcasts don't last 3 hours, but I want to thank everyone who submitted topics for this podcast. We had it was 100 and I believe it was 104 submissions.
Oh, dude.
But for the most part, there were a lot of great topic submissions, and I want to thank you guys all for submitting them. And yeah,
You
I
guys
mean,
did great.
thank you all. We love you, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Bye.
In a bit.